Hello, everybody, and welcome to Roll with Advantage. If you'll take a look around, things are, well, a little different. As with
Oh,
our...
wow, pretty.
Yes, with our wonderful overlay, it has been redone. It has now, every single group will have their own unique, individualized overlay. So because of the reoccurring themes of roses within this campaign, obviously we got some nice little rosy boys hanging out and around all over the place. So it's gonna be a good time. Very excited. Wonderful overlay. So thank you, Gemma, for designing these. Really appreciate that. And yeah, I love it. So we have quite the session planned today with all of these bad boys on the screen here, and then they're going to cause some trouble that are trying to devour some souls, and the party is going to try and stop them. So let's go ahead and roll the intro, and then we will dive in. Bow, bow, bow. Alrighty, and we are back. Okay, so with that, oh, sorry, the character faces are a little a little skewed. There we go, that's better. Okay, so with that, we're gonna go ahead and get started and start off with our little summary here. So this week, as a kindness to my players, as got a lot of things going on in their life, I'm gonna go ahead and do the summary this week. Everybody gets one. So today is that one. So let me go ahead and go over here, turn this down, and let's get some opening music. Previously on. Oh yeah, that's good. So, last we left off our group of adventurers. Between the gates in the city, the hooded archer that loomed before the party revealed himself to be the black dragonborn named Baron. He claimed to be the last person alive in the city, and he is its protector. After questioning the party's intentions on the island, he allowed them permission to stay the night in the city, but they must not go near the library. Baron claims to have eyesight and will not this great eyesight where he can, standing on top of the massive towers within the city, he can see almost anything. And he guaranteed them that he would not hesitate to strike them down. He said he'll open the gates come morning for the party to leave the city. He does give the party a bit of information about what happened here, saying that this island, Altinian, was once home to great libraries with extensive knowledge. There was a struggle as to who should have access to that knowledge, and that struggle led to its current ruinous state. With this information and Barin's warning, the party made their way into the city. The city is indeed ruinous, as many of the statues depicting a dragonborn and an elf were in dismay. As the party traveled in further, Nalthian spotted a pair of eyes watching them from a nearby building. Eurydice messaged this person, and it resulted in the introduction of Velitha, or Vethila, or Velitha, or however you want to say it. No. It's no. You're fine. I'm just kidding. An elven woman who initially told the party that she was shipwrecked here. Velitha managed to stay hidden from Barin, but requested the party's help in getting off the island. She claimed there was a way that she could help them all escape through the library. Speaking of which, she claimed that within the library there was not only valuable magic items and knowledge, but also the trapped souls of the people who once lived here. Upon questioning further, Velitha states that there was a curse on this island that trapped those souls within the library, but now that the party has arrived, they could work together not only to leave the island but to save those trapped souls. The party hesitantly agreed, but it's worth noting that Twig was not happy about breaking Barin's his one and only rule. Within the library, the party faced off with those trapped and vengeful souls, but quickly discovered that these creatures were not attacking Velitha. One skeletal mage even speaking with Velitha. The party confronts her, and the truth is revealed. Velitha is actually a native to this island born after the curse was made. But yet, due to this, she is unable to die from starvation or old age. Although she's not a trapped soul, she is cursed with undeath. The curse is actually the result of a conflict, a dispute that happened thousands of years ago on this island. It was a dispute over welcoming in outsiders to share their vast knowledge. The elves believed they should share this knowledge, and the Dragonborn were stoutly against it, knowing that if they shared the information, there's a chance that those lizard folk that had been under the thumb of the Dragonborn could escape the island. And there's no knowing how much havoc they could cause on the continent of Eridane, or even further. The elves, in their anger and frustration, they used their magic to curse the island. They wanted to try and be able to free these lizard folk and punish the Dragonborn for being so apprehensive to share this knowledge with the people outside. But they used their magic to curse the Dragonborn, so if they wanted to stay on this island, that they could never leave. However, the Dragonborn then destroyed all of the ships and boats and rafts that were available on the island, and they scientifically experimented on the lizard folk, creating a serum, a potion that caused most lizard folk to be infertile, not allowing them to be able to produce in the vast numbers that they once were able to. The elves, being trapped on the island with the Dragonborn and with the lizard folk, attempted to fix the relations with the lizard folk, but ended up sparking fighting. Unable to fix the issue, the lizard folk took that as a grave offense, and using the same magic that the elves taught them, they cursed the elves with undeath and having their souls be trapped. The group is clearly unhappy with being lied to, because who likes being lied to? And frankly, a little confused, because as Nalfian says, this is a spicy conflict and ain't our business. You just gotta get out of here. So the group is clearly unhappy with being lied to and confused, but decide to carry on anyway in an attempt to help those trapped souls. Making their way through the destroyed library, they finally reach the room where the vat of souls are being trapped and more of the possessed creatures are being created. So that is right where we are going to pick up our group of adventurers here. As they were trying to make their way stealthily and quietly through the different hallways and cave systems that connected this entire area, Velitha, that wood elf, was able to lead them through the cave systems into this sort of main area of the library. And while she was able to lead them there quietly, sadly moving from that top ledge looking down on those ruinous remains, it was not enough, because Blossom and Eurydice, unable to maintain their balance and unable to stay quiet, end up alerting the other undead in this room to your presence. So, with that Twig staying elevated up on the ledge, being able to look over the bookshelves down on the skeletons, Blossom, Eurydice, Nalfian, and, to a certain extent, Velitha, looking eye to eye, you can see Amon, the main skeletal mage, sort of floating above that vat of souls, pulling them out to create these horrific creatures. You can see him look to all of you, and in Elvish say, "Kill them and bring her to me." And with that, I would like all of you to roll for initiative.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang. All right. All right. Here we go. Bop. It's this, and you know what? I liked it so much. I'm going to play the same music from yesterday because I'm a fan of it. It was just good. It's just good music. All right, here we go. Bop. Woo!
Blossom?
Oh, I can real quick. It's just easier.
Nelson 18.
Okay.
Did you say 10?
Yeah, I rolled a 2. It's the most depressing thing ever.
Oh my
We're off to a great start today.
Goodness.
River, what you got?
gracious.
I got a 14. So it's not
Hey.
awful, but it's not great.
That's my girl.
Okay. Blossom is looking at a 19, which is good. The combatant, 19. Oh, not 198. Okay. So we got Velitha, we got Nalfian, we got Yuri, and we got Twig. Twig, you said you were looking at a 10?
Yeah.
Okay. Yuri, what were you at?
14.
14. Okay. Nalfian?
18.
18. And Velitha, she is looking at a... Velitha's looking at a 13.18. Okay. Alrighty, so with that, we'll go ahead and begin combat. Ow. And with that, just as a brief reminder, when it does get to your turn, you are controlling the stream overlay, so make sure that you're not like freaking out too much and like whipping the screen around. Okie dokie. So with that, we've got our first cursed archer up here, and what they're going to do is they're going to go ahead and go 5, 10, and they're just going to jump across.
Correct
15,
me if
20.
I'm wrong. Okay, so we are level with them right now, correct?
You are. Yeah, all three
Okay,
of these are the
cool.
same thing. And not that your characters would know, but I'm okay with telling you so you can decide. Your characters could assume that these two runes on these two separate circles right here are the same sigil. So it's safe to assume that you can teleport from one to the other.
Okay, interesting. Thank you.
So this Cursed Archer is going to go right here, getting a very clean shot of the three of you. And it is going to go ahead and, I suppose since Blossom was the one who's right at the front of the line, it's going to go ahead and take a shot at Blossom. So we have got... oh, shoot. I didn't think that through. Okay. So it's going to go ahead and make 3 longbow attacks against Blossom. So it's going to be hit. Let me do this one. Okay, so that's going to be a 16, a 20, and a 14.
Any of the 20 hits.
Okay. So that's going to be 2d6 plus 6. 7 plus 6. That's going to be 13 points of force damage. As you can see that the arrows that it pulls back, they aren't even like fully their wooden arrows with like flint or steel or stone. They are just these phantasmal arrows that it pulls back and then flies through. And it's not even piercing through the armor. It's just piercing through the soul and causing damage that way. Okay. So with that, we then move to another archer here, which is going to do... well, we don't want it to do the same thing. It's going to go ahead and go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And it's going to go right there. And it's just going to wait. It's going to hold its attack to wait until somebody comes within range. Oh, and then we have Amon. So Amon is going to do some stuff indeed. Skeleton Mage.
Or not. But
So
we can.
considering that he's flying, so he's going to go ahead and lift off from the ground. And he's just going to slowly begin to rise into the air. So he can see above the bookshelves and seeing, let's see, seeing Velitha, he is going to sort of raise his hand up, and there are going to be these bouts of flame that begin to conjure in his hand, these 3 separate beams, and he's going to fire 2 off towards Velitha, and then, honestly, you were to see the third one's going to go at you because you are a wood elf, so there's some assumption that you are in cahoots with her. So we're going to go Scorching Ray. Okay, so that's going to be plus 6 to hit. Okay, so for Velitha, that's going to be a 10 and a 20. And then Eurydice, the one attack against you is going to be a 19. So I believe a 19 hits, right, Eurydice?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so you take 7 points of fire damage, reduced to 3 because you are resistant.
Okay.
And then Velitha will take 9 points of fire damage. Okay. And that is going to go ahead and be the end of his turn. Then we move to Blossom.
Okay. I mean, how high up in the air is the mage, first of all?
He's probably about maybe 30 feet right now, so he'd probably be a little bit higher than where Twig is.
Right. So then I imagine Blossom would not be able to get in range unless they get onto that little island thing, because that's already 30 feet, just like straight. It's fine. Okay. So, first of all, they are going to give Eurydice some inspiration.
Hey. Blossom's gonna lean over to you, Eurydice, after you get just like hit with that bout of flame, and is gonna kind of pat out one of the flames on your shoulder, and is gonna be like, "I am so sorry for apologizing to the bookshelf. I felt bad for it, but you got this, sweetheart. You can do it."
She's so nice.
She just gets more and more like southern every single session.
I was gonna ask. I was like, "Where's that southern drawl coming from?" She's just every session, it just keeps getting stronger.
Oh God.
She's a down home southern girl.
She's just the belle of the ball, ain't she? Ain't they?
She just.
Ain't they just? Ain't they just? All right.
They're going to, I guess, move to have. The game is currently paused. I cannot move.
Oh, sorry. It's because I refreshed the page. That was my bad.
They're gonna move a little bit closer to things, just I guess in hopes that eventually we'll be able to get closer to the mage. But are just going to vicious mockery. Let's just say this little phantom warrior there. I don't know if you can even see that.
The phantom, this one right here? Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. So little wisdom 15 save from them.
Wisdom 15 save from them. Okay, that's not a high number for them. Wisdom, that's a natural 19 though.
Okay, so never mind, that save the suck. So then nothing happens,
Okay.
I guess.
Okay, all right. So Blossom, they're gonna go ahead and run up there, and they're just gonna go, "You are just so unpleasant to look at." By the end of the campaign, they're just gonna sound like Hank Hill, and that's just something everybody's gonna have to be okay with. So all right, that is gonna be the end of her turn, as it does not affect that creature. So then we have this one. That's good. So this one's actually going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. It's going to go ahead and like jump. Okay. Nice. I just want to let you know that that's just on the stream now. Yeah, okay. So this one's going to go ahead and run up to Blossom and is going to go ahead and make 2 longsword attacks. Pop. Okay, so that's going to be a 23 and a 16.
The 23 hits.
So then that'll be 11 points of... oh, wait a second. Oh, wait a second. What? Why did it do that? Oh, I see what it did. Okay. So that'll actually be, that'll be 6 points of slashing damage. Sorry, that was my bad. Not 11. Yeah, for some reason it was like rolling the damage like for the longbow and the longsword at the same time with one attack. And it's like, huh? What are you doing that for? Okay. Alrighty. So, we'll go ahead and move on from there to Nalfian.
Okay, I'm gonna summon my Echo.
My Echo.
And Nalfian is going to go.
My Shadow. Sorry, I've got to reload
Can't
here.
run
It
through
was
bookshelves here.
no, yeah. I mean, you could knock the
Ooh,
bookshelves
pardon.
over if you wanted to, but I don't think that has an advantage yet.
Actually, question: could I knock this bookshelf over onto this creature?
So I had to reload my thing real quick because it was being a little funky.
Okay.
Yes, Dowie.
Or would that be my whole action? Like, could he just shoulder check this bookshelf as he runs down here?
I'd probably say like it would be one of your attack actions to kind of because it's an attack action to
Okay.
like shove somebody.
Sure. I don't
There you
have
go.
control over Nalfian, unfortunately.
Sorry, now you do.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So he would run this way and just kind of like, you're gonna have to step aside and shoulder check this bookshelf, just kind of shoving Blossom out of the way. So it falls onto this creature, and his aim is to get like right here, though, kind of doing like a little. Very much. Nalfian is. If he was a sport player, football would not be his sport. It'd probably be basketball, but like today it's football.
Yeah, today's like a running back where he's just kind of like running and like
Yeah.
shoulder checking the thing and then like running around. Okay.
Is there anything you want me to roll for the bookshelf?
Yeah. So it would be a contested check because obviously he doesn't. The warrior doesn't want the bookshelf to fall on him. So
But does he know that the bookshelf's coming?
okay.
Who's just like, that bookshelf's not going anywhere. Like, he's looking at Blossom.
He's looking at Blossom.
Right?
So I'll say go ahead and make an athletics check as you're trying to shove into it, and he'll make one with disadvantage. So a contested check.
Skills pulled up. Athletics or acrobatics?
Athletics.
Okay, valid.
Because yeah, it's a bookshelf.
14.
14. Okay, disadvantage. That was an 18, and that is a 9. So that is going to succeed.
Oh.
So as you run around the corner, you like shoulder check into it, and as he's focused on Blossom bringing that sword up ready to swing down again, you can see Blossom getting ready to throw up their shield. As you knock into it, they're just not quite expecting it. Don't throw their hand up soon enough. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go ahead and roll a, we'll say 2d6. 2d6 bludgeoning damage as the bookshelf clatters down onto them. And if they fail a dexterity saving throw, they're pushed back into the water.
That is 11.
Woo! Wowee! Okay, so they take 11 points of bludgeoning damage. And that's a 2.
Plus this was.
That's a
Continue.
that's a 2 on the saving throw. So they're actually going to be pushed back and fall down into the water. As they just sort of, and that means they'll have to spend almost all of their turn climbing next round.
And then I did summon Shadow now.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, he is not here right now. Let me Control C, Control V. Okay, sorry. Let me. Oh fuck.
It's okay.
Okay.
Okay. I assume this one's gonna be the Echo.
Yeah.
Okay. Couple things here. Wow, so many things are happening. The screen keeps moving. Alrighty. Unfortunately, Gonov can only be 30. Why does it keep setting my screen? Only be Sorry, people on the stream are like, why does she move her screen so much? It keeps resetting on me for some reason.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's strange. Okay. God, I wish I was a little bit closer, but I'm simply not. Okay. Shadow Nalf was summoned with his bow drawn.
Okay.
So I'm going to move Shadow Nalf moved up to 30 feet away from me, so I'm gonna move him up here.
Okay.
This creature is in the water?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will take a longbow attack at it.
Okay.
Gene, what is his modifier? I think it's +8. 21.
That's gonna hit.
Okay.
Roll your
Ooh,
damage, my
spicy
boy.
damage.
Ooh.
13.
13 points of damage. Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
And that's all I got, Chief.
Okay. Alrighty, moving on from there, we have another warrior's turn. This one right here is going to go 5, 10, 15, 25. Oh no, they can't actually jump across, so they're going to get right about there. And they're actually going to make a quick check. Well, okay, that's an 18, yeah. So you can see that they pull their longbow back to take 2 shots at Shadow Nalfian, but then they either have a realization or something, and then they instead turn the longbow towards you, Nalfian. Okay, so 2 longbow attacks. So that's going to be a 21 and a 22.
Yep.
So for 14 points of damage total.
What? Trash.
It's okay, you got it. I believe in you.
What?
You can do it.
Well, I'm not happy, but that's okay. Continue.
Okay. All right. So that's going to be the end of his turn. Then we have what? Okay. Oh no, VTT, you better stop playing games with me right now. Okay, this one is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Man, it keeps giving me the same error over and over and over again. I'm not sure why. And this one is going to take 2 shots at Blossom. 1, 2. So that's going to be an 8 and a 9. So those are both going to miss. So yeah, both arrows just fly past, slamming into the bookshelf behind. As it's not able to land those blows. Okay, then we move to another warrior over here. This one is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Right there on the other side of the portal. And this one's going to take 2 shots at you, Eurydice. 1, 2. And that's going to be a, let's see, 25 and an 18.
Yeah, they both hit.
Okay, so that's going to be 5 points of piercing damage total.
Okay.
And then Eurydice, it is your turn.
All right. I don't like that he's right there, but fuck. Okay. What I am gonna do is instead of go this way, because that seems bad because he is right there. I'm gonna go here and then here, so I'm like not too far away from where like other Nalfian, Echo Nalfian is.
Okay.
So right over. I can't move my token.
Oh, can you not? Why is it paused? That's so weird.
Oh, wait, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna get like right here, and then I'm gonna cast Fireball like on top of this guy right here.
I
And
didn't
then just
realize.
get, like all of these.
I didn't realize that Eurydice was for book burning, but
No, she isn't. But like,
that's
they're
okay.
Not, they're scary.
That's okay. Here, do you want to? If you target it like right in this hex right here, you're able to get even this archer down here. So that's what you wanted to do, right?
Really? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because it's 30
I'm
feet,
trying to get like
30
these
foot
guys.
radius.
It's 20. That's why.
Oh.
So yeah, I can't get him. That's why I wasn't going for it. I was just trying to get like these.
Yeah, okay. All right, so center it right on him. Yeah, you can get still. That's 5 enemies though. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, alrighty.
And the DC for that is 15, so they've got to make a dex save for that.
15 dex save. Okay. All right, so let's see, 15 dex save. So let's go ahead and get some dex saves. Oh man, I'm gonna roll the Phantom Mage last because if he gets hit, this isn't gonna be a good day for him. And these guys all have +0 to their dex saves. So we're looking at a 12, which is a failure. Looking at a 14, which is a failure. Looking at a 10, which is a failure.
Yeah.
And for the last one, we're looking at a 2, which is a failure. Now time for the Phantom Mage. Let's see. And that is going to be a 15 with a...
Has he got a -1?
with a -1 to dexterity.
Yes!
Oh, that's too funny. Alrighty, so that's going to go ahead and be a 14. So every single one of them you were to see are going to fail.
That is 30 points of fire damage to all of them.
Holy shit. All right. So -30, -30, -30, -30, and that is a massive chunk of damage to him. Alyan, as just sort of standing up there in the center. You can see that as the flames like lick and curl around him, that is a massive amount of damage dealt to him. And he's not looking too great.
Eurydice looks like pleasantly surprised with herself, like, if that worked.
You just see like Nalfian give you a thumbs up from across the way.
Shadow Nalf standing next to you and Nalfian, or Echo Nalf and regular Nalf, just
Both
like...
quadruple thumbs up, baby.
Oh, I love that. And it's
Nice.
kind of terrifying, too.
It kind of is.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Okay, I'll just, I'll use my extra 5 to just back up a little bit. And that's
Okay.
it.
Okay, sounds good. So then we come to Velitha. Velitha is going to go ahead and go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And she is going to go ahead and... Is this the right thing here? Oh, no, it's not. Okay, sorry. I need to pull this thing up real quick here. My homebrew collection. Because she is... There we go. Nice! Alright, so that's going to be 2 longbow attacks. 1, 2, 3, actually. Pop, 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 pop. So 18, 26, and 17. The Phantom Alyan, or Arman, is going to go ahead and cast Shield to have the 18 and 17 miss, but is still going to take from the 26. So then we have, so those 2 are going to hit, or that one is going to hit for 6 points of damage. And then he's still alive though, so then we're going to go ahead and move on from Velitha's turn. This one that was blasted by the fireball is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and is going to take those 2 longbow shots against you, Eurydice. Because you hurt him very badly.
Sorry.
That's okay. He'll get over it. He's just going to get over it through anger, which isn't healthy. But no one ever taught him otherwise. So 1, 2, longbow attacks. So that's going to be a 22 and a 17
Yeah.
for a total of 9 points of piercing, or sorry, no, 12 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Okay. Alrighty. Twig, it is your turn.
Okay, so the mage person is looking pretty hurt at this stage, right?
Uh-huh. That indeed he is.
Okay. So in that case, using 2 of the lightning bolts that she's got. Actually, wait. First of all, Hunter's Mark onto the mage.
Yes.
Yes.
Hunter's
so
Mark.
Hunter's Mark on him first.
Okay, marked.
And then gonna just take her little shots at him. That's a 26. An 8.
26 hits. Yeah.
And a 18.
The 18 will miss because he does have shield up right now.
Okay. But for the one bolt that does hit, that is 11 plus Hunter's Mark, so 16 total.
16? Okay. All right, he is still hanging in there.
Okay. That's unfortunate. But hey. But she just wants to stay up there to keep her advantage there, so.
Okay. Alrighty. So then we move to this Phantom Warrior right here. Yeah, so Eurydice, you're just gonna get focus fired because of that fireball. You did a lot of damage there. They see you as a threat. So that's gonna be 2 longbow attacks, 1, 2. And that's gonna be an 11 and a dirty 20.
The 11 misses.
And that's gonna be 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
How are you feeling right now?
I'm at 21.
Oh, okay. All right.
Out
All
of
right.
48.
Oh, ooh.
Like, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. All right. Moving on from there, back up to the top of the turn order, we have our Cursed Archers. So first up, we have this one right here. This one, Nalthian, it can just barely get line of sight of... Well, no, you would kind of have half cover from it. So instead, it's going to fire at Blossom. 2 of those phantasmal arrows. And of course, D&D Beyond is... I don't understand. Why... As a teacher, technology, I think it just has to hate you. Because it's awful. Okay. So it's going to be... No, it's 3 longbow attacks from these archers. So 1, 2, 3. So that is going to be a... Oh, that's a natural 1 on one of them, but a 16 and a 12.
None of those hit.
None of those hit. Alrighty. All 3 misses. So all 3 phantasmal bolts just... one after the other fly towards them, but they're able to sort of dip and dodge and avoid the bolts one after the other. We have another archer over here that never got to attack last turn, so it's going to pop out. And you know what? Seeing the 3 arrows fly towards Blossom, it's going to go ahead and fire 1 at Blossom and see if that sticks. If not, it's going to move on to something else. 1. So that's going to be an 8, which is a miss. So then it's just going to fire the other 2 shots at them. 1, 2. Okay, so that is a 17 and an 18.
None of those hit.
Okay. So that is going to be 18 points of force damage. 7 plus 11.
No, none of them hit.
Oh,
They've got an 18 off 19. So,
oh, they have an AC of 19? Whoa!
Yeah, they got a shield, so.
God damn. All right. Okay, so then we're going to go to the Phantom Mage's turn. And this turn is not going to be nearly as nice. So it is going to... Yep, right there. It is going to go ahead and... Yeah. Okay. So what it's going to go ahead and do is it is going to go ahead and angle itself right here, sort of flying above this phantasmal warrior behind it. And it's going to float down until it's like right above its head. And then you can see that it begins to slowly wisp together this electric energy within its hands, and in a line is going to cast Lightning Bolt. Unless there's anybody stopping that from happening.
Wait, does anyone know what level the lightning bolt is?
Question, Joe.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nalthian has the Dunamatic stutter thing. Is lightning bolt something that can work on this? As in, like, oh, I gotta pull it up because I don't remember exactly what it does. Blah, 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 blah. Doing this with other grand advantage. So, can this be given to give him disadvantage? No, because we have to make the save, don't we?
Yep, it's you guys making the saving throw.
Can I have it to where? Well, never mind. I feel like that's asking way too much.
Yeah, because
Like, he can't make everyone have advantage on it, right?
No. Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's still in a line and they can't get out of the way of it. I would allow, not that it would matter for Shadow Nalthian, but,
No,
if you
doesn't
were in the
matter.
way,
Okay.
yeah. So that
Okay.
would mean Shadow Nalthian just kind of vaporizes, and then it would be Eurydice and Twig that need to make those dexterity saving throws. Lightning Bolt base is a 3rd level spell, but you're not sure if he's upcasting it or not.
Did they use it before? Like there was a in the last encounter someone.
think they did.
Yeah, I'm not.
'Cause there was something that hit. Or was it
I
chain
can't
lightning?
remember.
That was the last one that they used.
No, definitely wasn't Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning is a nasty spell. That's like 6th level, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure, dude.
I don't remember.
But like if Yuri wouldn't know,
Whatever
then
it
Yuri
is.
wouldn't know. So it's like,
Well, yeah, but there's still, like, obviously there's a little bit of metaing to counterspell anyway, so that's okay, to ask
Yeah.
that question. So,
I
like,
just can't remember.
yeah, it was, it is on par with, it does a little bit more damage than Fireball. It's just in a line as opposed to in a radius. Or no, it does the
Okay,
same
I'm gonna
amount.
counterspell it because I don't have many hit points. So I'm gonna counterspell it.
Okay, I need you to go ahead and make a charisma check. So it's going to be whatever your spell attack.
Is he up spell?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Okay.
So I need
So
you.
it's just charisma.
It's charisma versus charisma and proficiency. It's just a spell attack bonus.
Okay. That was a nat 20.
Oh my goodness.
That's
Well, you
right.
only needed to whatever it is. It only needed to add up to 14. Okay. So with that, you see the bolt of energy begin to form, knowing that you definitely don't want that to hit you or Twig. You use counterspell. And yeah, definitely.
Rip that shit away from him. I'm just like, nope.
Mm-hmm.
Rip it away.
She said, fuck off.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. So then with that, we come to Blossom as that's the end of his turn.
okay. Yeah, okay. They are going to cast Fairy Fire, which will get all 4 of these lovely little blokes here.
Mm-hmm.
So need Dex save DC 15 from each of them.
Okay.
So I imagine the mage is like, since they're just like hovering above the head, they get into the 20-foot radius. Well, not
Yep.
radius, cube.
Mm-hmm. That is correct. So 20-foot cube. Got it.
Yeah, so I should get all 4.
Yep. Yep. Okay. That's going to be a natural 2, a natural 1. It's cocked. That's a natural 7, and then for the mage, that's going to be a natural 10. Wow, those are some really, really piss poor rolls. Okay.
Okay, so everyone gets a fun little thing of advantage whenever attacking any of them.
Hey,
Oh.
ooh. Alright, they've been very fired for sure.
Really lit up.
Yeah.
And they are just going to, first of all, inspire now, and then just retreat a little bit into the bookshelves. Just get out of line of fire, hopefully.
Okay. Alrighty, yeah, just retreat a little bit. And now, Fiend, if they're running away, they're just going to say, thanks for toppling that bookshelf. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, Nalfian just kind of knowing what Eurydice did and Blossom together, and he's just grinning to himself. He's ready.
Okay.
And on that note,
Well, we have
uh,
one more Phantom Warrior as he's slowly like floating down the river. He's gonna
shit.
attempt to
Maybe.
climb up, and he's gonna climb up right over. He's gonna be able to get like right here, on his turn. Okay. Alrighty, so he climbs up on the other ledge, and now there's like a line of 3 of them. Okay, so then we come to Nalfian. Whoa.
Shadow Nalf is just going to walk across the river because he can.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And as long as that's make sure not like more than 30 feet, like exactly 30 feet. Okay, all of these attacks are going to originate from Echo Nalf. And I like to imagine like Nalfian himself is just kind of like Xbox controllering this from the other side. He's just fighting air while Echo Nalf is taking care of business over here. So I'm
Mhm.
going to do a couple things, Joe. And I'm
Okay.
sorry. I am going to make my first attack with my dagger, because I remember things.
Mm-hmm.
23 to hit.
Okay, 23 to hit. That hits.
Okay, and Nalfian's using his dagger because he remembers that these creatures only take magical damage, so that's going to be 9 points for the first attack.
Okay, 9. Got it.
Second attack. 14, 15, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
Beautiful. 1. That is another 9.
Okay, 9 points of damage. So with that, that one will actually crumple and the spirit will exit. However, Nalfian, as you
Wait,
see this...
is this not the mage?
No, the mage is flying like 10 feet above his
Oh.
head. Yet.
Oh, so I can't... Oh, I thought this was the mage this entire time.
No, the mage is floating above him. Sorry, the tokens were on top of each other, so that's a little confusing.
Oh, that's where I wanted the fire to go towards. Can I not reach him then?
Oh, I mean, I guess you would. I mean, I guess he's like 5 feet above because he's just like right above the head. So yeah, sure. Let me go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. They are all like blue pulsating. So I have my whole goal was to be going towards the mage.
Yeah. Okay. Here, let me. Okay. Got it. Let me do that, and let me. What does this look like? There you go.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, then I apologize. Nalfian is focusing here.
Okay, that's fine. So you're sort of slashing above him, cutting into him. So that was 18 points of damage.
Yep, and then I'm going to unleash Incarnation. So
Okay.
whenever I take an attack, I can make an additional attack from the Echo's position. So, ooh, that's spicy. 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. That hits.
Okay, that does hit.
That's
Oh my goodness.
another 9 points of damage.
Okay.
And then I'm also going to action search.
Oh my-
because I'm a bitch. And I'm gonna get one more fucking hit in.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess
Okay,
2 more
that's
because you get 2 attacks.
Okay, great. So I rolled 10 plus 8. 18.
But these are with advantage because he has fairy fire.
Would 18 not hit?
And 18 does hit, but just so you know, because
Okay.
there's a chance to roll a natural
Thank
20.
you.
So
Oh, okay. Well, that was a 7, so.
okay, not a natural 20.
It's another 9 on the damage.
Oh my goodness! Yes, that.
And my last action.
Last
or my
attack.
Last attack. That's an 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. I don't think a 16 hits. Oh, wait, but I have advantage. 18. 28.
28. Yeah, that hits.
27. 27. Okay.
27,
Math
okay.
is hard. And that's another 9. All
Oh
I'm
my
rolling is
good-
9s with the damage.
Alrighty, Nalfian, as this phantom mage just blowing all of your abilities in that one moment as it's like floating above, you just begin to lash and cut into it. How does Echo Nalfian eviscerate this phantom mage?
Yeah, like I said, real Nalf over here is just fighting the air as if he's controlling Echo Nalf. And I'd like to imagine that he just kind of drives that magical dagger into this thing's ankle and just with his strength pulls him out of the air.
Oh,
And then just kind of very nice, neat, and clean, just one quick slice across. It doesn't even have a throat. If it does, there.
so Nalfian, as you do, you jump up and sort of jam that dagger in, pulling it down, and as you bring the dagger up to the throat, and you slowly begin to, like, slice into that, almost like ectoplasm, that, like, translucentness, you can feel the well of souls behind you begin to sort of shake and begin to crack slightly, and eventually with that final slash, instead of letting out a cry of pain, you can see that Mage let out a sigh of relief as these just broken, haunted words, "Thank you." As you finish cutting, all the phantasmal warriors near you, they just drop. The ectoplasm drops. The well of souls cracks and breaks and shatters. And all of those souls, like a mist of like blue water, just shoots out and sort of fills the room. These just spectral ghosts just swirling around all of you. You can see just all of these souls just floating around the room, swirling and then eventually funneling out in different directions as the dull blue glow of some of these teleportation circles, they begin to fade as the magic that was once here seems to slowly be fading away as all of these enemies just begin to drop. And you can see the souls of these creatures begin to exit the library. One by one by one by one. As you can see, Velitha, she makes her way over and sort of jumps as this well of souls is no longer glowing, and just begins to look around, trying to pick through the different books that are kind of burned and singed, shaking them, trying to see if there's anything salvageable. And she kind of goes over and begins looking in these bookshelves, trying to find something.
Are these souls kind of like materializing through like the building, like?
Yeah, they're like phasing
floating
through the
upwards?
stone and then
Oh,
heading up.
shit,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now Thea's just gonna kind of take a quick look around and just say, "Is everybody all right?"
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not feeling great, but I'll be fine. As Blossom, they just kind of, now without their southern accent, how they're supposed to talk, just begin to cast Cure Wounds on themselves.
Wait, are you okay?
Okay.
Great.
All right. Well, that's
Okay.
good, but that is not good. Pointing to like all of these things kind of floating up. I think we need to get out of here and quickly.
So at this point, you would be able to see Velitha as she's just kind of like picking through all of these different books, sort of picking them up and throwing them onto the ground, just looking for something. You're not sure what, but she's very actively looking for something and just saying, no, that's not it. That's not it. No. Where is it? Where is it? Just like trying to find something in these
Yuri's
bookshelves.
gonna run over to where she is. I can just hop over this, right?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
over?
it's no check necessary.
Yeah, she's gonna just run over. What are you looking for?
There is a book. There is a book that was written by Amron all those years ago. It's somewhere here at the center of the library. It's supposed to have the magics that they taught the lizard folk. It's supposed to have a way to. And she kind of stops and looks at you, and she says, "It's supposed to have a way to break my curse. It's supposed to have a way
okay.
to undo this."
Right. What does it look like?
It is
Anything?
a thicker bound book. It has deep red covers inscribed on Elvish is accounts by Amron. and it's dated, and the binding is 3 steel hooks, not a normal binding. 3 steel hooks keeping the papers together.
Yuri's gonna run back over and give everyone else that description, like, really quickly, and be like, just, let's find it. Let's look as a team, and we'll find it quicker, and then we can leave.
Well, I might be able to help with that if I know, I guess, more about what's in it. Any specifics?
I guess Velitha, she would have moved over here hearing you say that, and she'd say, I guess it has information about the magic that my ancestors, that they taught to the lizard folk. Armon was the one who taught them, who tried to enlighten them, to educate them. And it has accounts of his teachings with them and what specifically he taught them. If I know what he taught them specifically, I can reverse engineer from there to figure out a way to break this.
All right. Relax. Everyone just split up and look.
Okay. Well, as she's giving that description, I've been waiting for this one.
These rats.
Twig is going to cast Alana's library rat.
Hey, yeah.
And so she's got a solid description of thing. 3 little spectral force magic rats. I just gotta, I guess, just apparate, and each of them are going to go towards any written material, including books or scrolls, that I guess match the contents description that Velitha has been giving us. And it also can just work from author's name and things, so, you know, I think we're pretty set.
Okay. Alrighty. So, the 3 rats, they scurry out. Takes them maybe only a couple of minutes, and you can hear one of them begin to squeak, and the other 2 head over in the sort of central area right about here. As they begin to squeak, and they're kind of tapping on this charred book. You can see what maybe would have been a deep red cover and 3 chains that have been able to be preserved. But Twig, you're the first person to notice this, as Velitha is not really paying attention. She's too busy digging through the other bookshelves.
Yeah, I mean, once they seem to have located that, Twig will, I guess, move a little bit further over to where it is and just call over Velitha and just point into the direction of where it's picked it up.
So yeah, you pointed out to her, and you can see she kind of goes to get down in that area and kneels down next to the charred remains of the book, kind of picks it up. There's maybe half of the words are still legible. She just slowly begins to flip through it, but it's not like half like every other word. It's like half of the pages are just gone. Like half of like the left page and the right page over the entire book is just charred off, as if somebody just dipped it into fire, and then slowly like dipped it in by the spine and then pulled it out. As she kneels down and grabs it. Yeah, Nalfian, go ahead and make a perception check for me real quick. And no, that's a good question. As she just sort of kneels down next to it, she says, "No. And she just has a small moment, and she says, she takes the book and kind of jams it into a satchel on her side and says, "So then I suppose that we need to find that exit then, don't we?"
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. If I recall correctly, it should be over in this direction. There's a waterfall. If we climb up it, it should lead to a small cave where then we can make our way back to the northernmost bay, which is where most people would dock before.
Right. And Nothing kind of like does the like arm behind the neck awkward, doesn't know what to say thing. Maybe you could have that magically fixed. I'm sure someone could get the words out of there, right?
Perhaps. It's worth trying. I've spent...
This is like definitely beyond mending, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because the thing is with mending would restore the book, but it doesn't restore the words. That's the issue.
Yeah.
She says, yes, I'm sure that there are experts who could do something about it, but for now, you all did what you promised to do. You helped free the souls of my people, and I'm grateful for you for that. And now I must repay that debt and get you out of this city.
Alright, well, we need to move because we made a lot of noise and a lot of fireworks over here. So if we're gonna get off in one piece, we need to move now.
You're right. It's only a matter of time before... And as soon as she says that, all of you can feel kind of this
No.
shaking on the ground as you all sort of look around, and you just hear this voice booming throughout the hallways.
I only had one rule when you came into the city. Not to go into the library! But no, you couldn't listen, could you? You just had to go against what I had to say!
And you
Where's
can
it coming
hear...
from?
It's coming from the northern direction. As you can hear these, like, massive bolts slamming into the walls around you, just causing it to shake a little bit. As Velitha sort of looks at you with wide eyes and says, "Come on, we need to run now." And she's just going to start running off in the direction
let's go.
of that waterfall. Okay, so as all of you begin to make your way through there, just sprinting upward, I'd like everybody to go ahead and make an athletics check as you are just trying to climb up this waterfall, as the water sort of brushing down on you, and trying to make sure that you are going about as fast as you possibly can to avoid this complication here.
Big allowed to guidance herself.
Is who?
Is Big allowed to guidance herself?
Oh yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, good.
Has it been more than 10 minutes since Blossom gave Yuri inspiration at the start of the fight?
No, I'd say you're probably still good.
How much is inspiration?
Hers is a D8, I think.
Okay,
I think it should be a D8.
Yeah.
Yeah, D8.
you're not doing too good on that athletic roll.
For the one.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Fuck. Can Nalthian have had, like... Oh god, you two. Would it have been possible for Nalthian to have, like, chucked Twig onto his back? Like a piggyback ride?
Twig small enough, yeah. I'd say that, especially with a
Okay.
19, yeah. And then Velitha, let's see, Velitha, not very athletic. Okay, but that's a 19 as well.
Well, I was gonna
Okay,
say,
but
she
she's
would
dead,
have...
so it's fine.
Oh,
She
wow.
can fail this.
Well, now I wasn't done. Sorry, Joe.
Okay.
Because he would have, like, made sure wherever we're climbing up, Eurydice, like, would have went up first, like, giving her a boost up.
Yeah, and that's what I was just about to say, is that,
Okay.
so with you giving her a boost and Velitha's high score, Velitha was the first one up there because she's leading the way. She reaches her arm down, right, not leaving any of you behind. And Eurydice, even knowing that the burn was from you because you were the only person who cast Fireball, she does reach her hand down to pull you up. Pulls you up, and then does the same with Blossom. What did Blossom roll?
I didn't roll. for
Oh, that's
them.
fine. Okay, that is a... Oh, well, that's a 3 plus whatever her modifier is for athletics.
They've got a +9, so I think they're pretty good.
Okay, yeah, so they're fine. They're not doing great, but so it's a little slower getting everybody up the waterfall as you're all just sort of scattering up. Nalthian, you are able to climb up by yourself with Twig on your back, just one foot after the other, climbing up the water. You're already pretty athletic as it is, so you had a pretty easy time getting up there. But with that,
Yeah, and I would like drop Twig off up there and then like help pull up the rest of them.
yeah, exactly. So, well, you and Twig were the last two to get up there as Velitha.
Okay,
You
bless.
pushed people up and Velitha pulled them up. So you two kind of worked in tandem there. And you just begin sprinting down the hallway. And you can hear behind you that the sound of those massive arrows slamming into the wall, causing the cave around you to shake, the pebbles to kind of jump up and move as you just begin sprinting and running and running and running until eventually, as you're moving throughout these cave systems, eventually it splits off into several different directions, and Velitha, with confidence, is able to move from one tunnel to the other, to the other, to the other, until eventually moving you from the interior area here. You can feel yourself heading away from the city as the caverns are starting to get more and more natural, and with those rolls, you have a pretty good feeling that Barin doesn't know that you went down this way, or that maybe he's unaware of it. Because as soon as you are running for about 10-15 minutes, you don't hear that stomping or that shaking anymore. Until eventually, you do make your way back out into Altinian, right into the forested jungle area, as soon as it may load, and you end up popping out right about here. So on the opposite end of the bones. So those giant dragon remains, you can see those down south there, maybe 15, 20 feet away from where you're at. But the issue is, at about this point, it's fairly late. It's maybe 8, 9 o'clock. Yeah, the boat is still south.
And we are how far? Sorry.
It's a great... Of course, I don't have the scale there. I think that it was a half-day travel from the city to the... So you could start running and take a point of exhaustion if you just want to get there, or you could try and hide in the jungle. That's your call.
What were you gonna say, Gemma? Sorry.
Yeah, I will say, since Blossom has... God, what even is it? That little thing where it's basically, Wonder Pyrotechnics, there we go. So I don't know, if we want, we could possibly flare to, like, signal the ship that, like, things aren't going great, because I feel like we established that, before we left.
You did, yeah.
Is it better
But,
for us
of
maybe
course,
to
that
just
would give
run?
away our position, yeah. So I'm just like, if we
Yeah.
want to make that call, we can, or we can just try and make it through. Also, keeping in mind that if we are going through, there's going to be lizard folk as well, I imagine.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say, River?
Is it maybe better to take the exhaustion and just try and run? Because we're getting hunted as well by a guy with very good eyesight.
Yeah,
You
but
can fly.
I think the thing is, as soon as he captures sight of us, like, that's not going to be too great. Which I don't know how long that's going to take, or even if he can, because, like, he was able to shoot at us from a distance before.
Yeah,
So
so
you're
just
saying
Yeah,
from where we're
right
at,
when
Joe,
down
that's
there.
a half-day travel.
half-day travel. So you take a point of exhaustion halfway through, and at that point, the second half of your journey, you'd have disadvantage on all ability checks. So if you need to make any athletics or acrobatics rolls at that point, you would be doing so with disadvantage, but you'd get to the ship much faster, because otherwise you're going to have to stay here for another, what that would be about 12 hours.
Is this all like rocky over here?
Correct.
This shore?
Mm-hmm.
Shit. So they can't pick us up from there.
No, yeah, the only place they could pick you up from is from the sandy shore down here. Or unless you went to these, like, smaller, like, atolls coming off the island up here, but then you have to go through the lizard folk village.
Yeah, that's a longer
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah, that would be a full day's
I
travel.
feel like he's gonna find us. Like, I feel like he's gonna see us if we stay.
Okay. You're on board for running then?
Go on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gemma,
running,
you
I
on board?
guess.
You running?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine to
We're
do whatever.
running.
I'm just like, I feel like we should realize what our risks are before we commit to anything.
Yeah, no, fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Because of those last rolls, Nelf's gonna take Yuri by the hand, gonna have Twig on his back, and we're fucking booking it.
Okay. Velitha is also going to be running with you because she wants to get off this island too. You guys are the only chance she's had in the past 2,000 years. So as you sort of get out, she will say, she'll say, now I know that that our problems were not that there was a little bit of deceit at the very beginning, but I still
Hey, just
stand
shut
with
up
the
and
sentiment that
run.
okay, yes.
Fine. It's fine. You're coming with us. Let's go.
That's the dichotomy of our party right there. Two sentences.
All right, and she is ever so thankful, even though Twig is like really upset about the fact that she's dead. Apparently,
No. Twig wouldn't care. I'm just being shitty.
yeah, no, it's okay.
Damn, you really were.
Yeah, okay, but she's dead.
Spicy.
All right, so with that, you guys are gonna start running.
Oh, yes, we are.
Okie dokie. All right, as you begin to run through the jungle, my only question is, are you trying to go as fast as possible, or are you trying to be a little more stealthy?
God damn it, Joe, stop asking us questions.
How much longer does it add if we're stealthy?
Only probably an extra 2 hours. It's still only 1 point of exhaustion, though.
Okay,
Worth it to be
maybe we
stealthy,
take the
right?
stealth as well.
Stealthy?
Because, like, as
Yeah.
soon as he catches sight of us, we're dead. Like, we know he can shoot and with
Yeah.
extreme accuracy. So I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
Guess team.
Okay.
Alrighty, so you're gonna go ahead and take it stealthy. So this is gonna work in 2 phases. The first one is your first foray into the night, where you are fully conscious, you have all of your stamina. So I'd like everybody to go ahead and make stealth checks for me as you're making your way through the forest, staying off the path about as much as you can, but using it to guide you. So you get about halfway. Let's see what those stealth rolls are. Velitha is very good. She's got like a +10. Yeah, Velitha at the 27.
Yo, I'm gonna use Dark One's own luck.
Are you?
because
Yes.
That was shit.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Invoke the Dark One, please.
I don't want
Waffles
that.
in Nel's hand? Please don't.
Okay, 21, 19. Blossom is
Sorry,
making hers with
Blossom.
disadvantage, right? Heavy armor?
I- No?
Oh, it's because it's just
Oh,
breastplate.
they're armor.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
So am I rolling?
that was the.
No, I got it.
Okay.
And then 14
Get
and
River.
oh, Blossom.
I rolled a 6, and then I added Dark One's own luck, which was a 5.
Thank
And then the
God.
first 3.
And Blossom does not have the ability to inspire herself.
What'd she roll?
What did I get? Yeah.
Oh, it was a private roll. That was an 8. Sorry.
No.
Awesome.
Okay.
Does the average help?
Well, this is a team-based check, so just because one person failed doesn't mean the entire group failed. This was kind of a majority rule thing. So all of you, so Velitha, Nalthian, and Twig were able to succeed on the check through his constant perception. Yep. So you can scan around, and you can hear bolts flying into the forest, but they're not necessarily that close to you to think that he has any bearing on where you went. The bolts are just slamming into the ground, causing the trees to shake around you, certain birds to fly out of the trees. But luckily, none of those arrows are coming near you. Blossom and Eurydice, you're definitely tripping over each other a little bit. You're very nervous, but you manage to calm yourselves a little bit with the help of your group and continue on throughout the forest. Now getting to about 5, 6 a.m. as the sun is beginning to rise, as you were doing all of that sprinting through the night, you can feel that exhaustion begin to bear down on you as each one of you suffers 1 point of exhaustion. Except for Velitha, because she doesn't need to eat, sleep, or drink. But you all being living creatures, you suffer 1 point of exhaustion, and now, as you're exhausted, just trying to get your way through this last leg of the journey, I need everybody to make another stealth check, but this time is with disadvantage.
And we give guidance to Yuri, or since it's like an extended thing, it wouldn't hold.
Oh, that's sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
No, she can give it, yeah.
Okay. Well, she'll do that then. So it's just a +4, but you know, given what she rolled last time. Yes.
Velitha's at a 20, 14.
What was it? What was the plus?
It's just a D4.
Okay. I hate myself. Fuck me, okay. That's a 9.
Doesn't.
I rolled a 2. Yeah, I rolled a 2.
No.
Okay,
Right.
so Blossom, Twig,
I'm sorry.
and Yuri do not roll high enough to succeed. Nalth and Velitha are able to be in tandem with one another. They're able to work off of each other. They're able to stay stealthy. But the other group, the other 3 of you, you just cannot stay in it. You are starting to groggy. You're starting to trip over yourselves. And one too many bumps into each other. You begin to sort of look up into the sky, and you can see this small black dot just kind of like swirling around. And every once in a while, it just stops as you can see these large leathery wings just flap as it just stops midair. And then you can see that black dot as it's pausing for a moment. Eventually, that black dot begins to grow as a bolt begins to fly towards the group of you. I need everybody to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, that's a 24 from Twig.
12, 13.
Is it with disadvantage or gangster exhaustion, or is it?
No, that's just ability checks.
15.
Hey, twins.
Okay, 15, 15. What was Twigs again? 24. Okay. Velitha is looking at a... Ooh, that's not good. That is a 13. And then... where's my other D12 at? Okay, that's a D10. Where's my other D12? There it is. Okay. So... And then Blossom, we're looking at a dex save. Oh, +5, though. Come on, Blossom. Hey, 20. Okay. So, with that, Twig and Blossom are the only 2 to succeed. It's going to be 2d10. Whew. Alrighty. So that is going to be a whopping 9 points of bludgeoning damage to those of you who failed, and then 4 points of bludgeoning damage to those who succeeded.
How many? Sorry. It was
9 if you failed, which was everybody except for Twig and Blossom.
okay.
I'm on 12.
I mean, at this point...
Yuri's gonna, like, quickly say, if you let me fly, I can just take his attention away for a minute. Okay, and then you can all hide again, and then I'll come back. Or go towards the ship.
That's a great way to get yourself killed.
Yeah,
Honestly, I'm not gonna let you do
I'm
that.
gonna die anyway.
Absolutely
Okay,
not.
but at this point, since I guess we're revealed anyway, Blossom will shoot up that, I guess, charge of pyrotechnics.
Okay.
So the ship should hopefully be aware. Because the noise itself can be heard from 300 feet away.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. So, but other than that, you all keep running?
How far away
Yes.
is the Dragonborn?
Wait.
Um,
And, Blossom, like, shoot the thing at what's his name? Like, I
Barin?
don't think it's gonna do any damage, but, like, to hopefully, like, I
disorient
don't know,
him?
just, like, yeah, because it's gonna have, like, a burst of light. And, like, obviously a loud noise. I don't know if that's gonna help us.
He's about 200 feet up in the air right now.
Oh, never mind.
How far does it go up?
I can't
Okay,
do
never
that.
mind, it's only 6 feet away. Okay, well, you know,
Yeah.
it's an idea.
But yeah.
Okay.
At least in the direction, so if he's, like, looking down at us, I don't know.
Yeah. Alrighty. So
Just
all
a
of you
spite.
keep running. You shoot it up towards
Also-
him. Yeah.
Yes, no, sorry. I just want to make it clear. Like, I don't want River to feel like you can't do the thing that you want to do. I'm just saying Delphine would be very against it. But Kayla, as a player, I don't want you to feel like you can't do your thing that you want to do. Okay, I'll stop talking. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay. All right. All of you keep running, or do you try and seek shelter somewhere?
How far away are we from the shore?
I'd say maybe at this point, when he finally caught you because of the stealth checks, you're maybe 10, 15 minutes away from the shore.
got to the shore.
Probably just book it, right?
Yeah.
'Kay.
Just book it.
How many shots is he? How frequently is he taking a shot at us?
Well, that just depends if you're running straight to the shore or if you're going to try and hide.
He already knows where we are, so if we try and hide, like, what's stopping him from just, like, following and, like, you know, at least knowing what area we're in, and it's only a matter of time before he finds us. Like, he's not gonna just go away.
Okay, we're only 10-15 minutes away. That's
Mhm.
it.
Yep.
Okay, Yuri's casting fly.
Okay. All right.
Blossom
She's gonna,
would
like-
re-inspire you if you are doing that, just in case.
Yeah, thank you. She's gonna, like, just look and be like, fuck. And she's gonna, like, tap herself on the chest and she's gonna be like, I'm sorry? And she's gonna break her hand away from Nalfian's and she's gonna fly.
Okay, so you fly up, and you successfully have gotten his attention, but now all these bolts are coming straight at you.
She's gonna try and duck in and out of, like, cover while still making her way towards the shore. But just trying to not always be just totally out in the open, but keeping his attention.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean? Does
I-
that make sense?
it does make sense, but sadly, it's just going to be attacks against your AC because, I mean, this
Yeah.
is what he's been doing for who knows how long. So,
You guys just run, please.
first attack is a 27.
What do you think, Joe?
Second attack is a 28.
This is a
And
mistake.
that's going to be, let's see, 8 plus 6. Oh, geez. What is that math?
Oh,
14,
I made a mistake, you guys.
14 points of damage on the first bolt. And then on the second bolt, that is 15 plus 6, 21 points of damage.
Just to be aware of what's happening right now, Nalfian would have taken Twig off of his back, gave her hand to Blossom, and made sure they're running towards the boat. And Nalf is going to circumnavigate until Eurydice is on the ground.
Okay. All right. Eurydice, are you still up?
No.
Okay. All right.
He's going to try to catch her.
Okay. Alrighty. So as with that, Eurydice, you begin to fall as the consciousness leaves.
God, fuck.
Concentration drops
Shit.
on fly. You just begin to fall. You're maybe 30,
God, I
40 feet up
fall.
in the air.
Yeah, Nalfian's trying. I don't know what you want me to do, but he's going to try.
So
What do I want you to do?
So Nalfian, you begin to circumnavigate. You know, you can see the bolt make contact, sort of cutting into her side as she just begins to plummet towards the earth. You try and move to catch her. I'll go ahead and have you make a, I'll have you make a, dexterity saving throw to try and catch her.
Okay. Ooh, okay. I rolled a 15. Hold on. I don't know what my saves things are.
Well, it's +5 because your modifier, but then I don't know if you're proficient in it too.
It's +5.
Okay, just +5. That's still good. So at 20, you are able to sort of tuck and roll.
I'm sure she hit shit on the way down, though.
Yeah, she kind of like, Eurydice, you do like smash and crash into trees on your way down. But eventually, as you break through the branches, Nalfian is able to catch you, softening your fall, sort of like tackling into you to break your fall a little bit, as the two of you just kind of roll over one another. As you can see that Eurydice's unconscious right now, Nalfian.
He's not gonna say anything. He's just gonna, like, fireman carry her and try to get the fuck to the boat.
Okay. So, Nalfian, as you do that, she technically is unconscious from damage. So that means if you don't do anything to stabilize or give her a potion, she will start to bleed out
Shit.
and
Okay.
making death saving throws.
Okay, can he then, before he starts running, kind of, like, put his back against a tree?
Mhm.
And... do I have anything on me? What do I have? Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I don't think I
I
have.
at least get the
help.
attention away
Twig
so
and
Twig and
Blossom
Blossom
have
and the others can
healing
get the
things,
ship.
so it's just like
Yeah, Twig and Blossom are fine, but they're
Okay,
probably
yeah.
about 5 minutes away from all of you, from the three of you now. The two of you.
I don't have any health potions on. Can I?
You don't? I do.
No.
I do.
Okay,
I don't
well,
have any.
it's not in my character sheet. I don't have any health potions on. I think I might have
You
just
can
taken.
just grab one of mine.
Okay, well, Delphin's going to very gentleman-like find a potion on her body.
Yeah, just sort of patting her down, trying to find something. You do find one. Just for, because in the time that it would have taken him to do that, Eurydice, go ahead and make one death saving throw.
Okay. 9.
9. Okay, so that's one failure. So you pop the potion, Alfine, you jam it in, you cause her to drink it. What type of potion was it, Eurydice?
A normal healing potion.
So 2d4 plus 2. So Eurydice, you'll regain 10 hit points. As it's fed to you, you sort of shock back awake. However, but remember, every time that you go down, coming back up, suffer a point of exhaustion. So
I'm on 2.
so you're on 2 now. So that means Nalfine, you're going to have to carry her because her speed is halved.
That's fine.
Okay. So you scoop her up, you carry her, and as you begin to run, sort of dodging throughout the trees, there was enough of a crash there. Barin seemed to be swooping in, but I'd like you to make another stealth check for me, right?
Okay.
So right now what he's doing, Blossom, Twig, and Velitha would be able to see it. He's currently like swooping around the area, and he's just shouting out,
I had one rule in my city and you broke it. One rule.
22. Okay. Nalfian, you can see the bolts just rapidly begin to fire down towards the ground, but not where you are at. Seems as though he doesn't know where you're at. So you begin to swing around. Eurydice just sort of like exhausted in your arms, just running, carrying her. Is there anything that Eurydice you want to say to Nalfian, or Nalfian you want to say to Eurydice as you're running through the forest? No? Okay.
He cannot risk talking and giving away location right now.
Okay. Alrighty.
Yeah, no.
Sounds good. So the two of you continue to run. And as the group of you arrive, you see the Twig, Velitha, and Blossom, you arrive sort of getting in the rowboat, getting ready to push it out. Sort of Blossom kind of sets you in the rowboat, Twig, and sets you down there and just says, all right, now just as soon as they get here, we're going to leave, all right? Just got to wait for them to get here first. And eventually, a couple minutes later, Eurydice and Nalfian, the three of you can see Eurydice in Nalfian's arms as he's just running through. And as all of you get to this clearing, Twig, with your passive perception, you'd be able to see that sort of black dot in the sky begins to swoop around towards the bay, the sort of beach that all of you are on. Sort of getting into the boat, packing one on the other, Nalfian, you run to the boat, setting Eurydice down. You can see Barin, he takes another arrow out of the quiver and he begins to pull it back. And he says,
Oh, you think you're leaving this island? No. You're gonna be trapped here. And you're gonna have to answer for what you did, what you released.
and as he pulls back the arrow to slam it into the boat where Eurydice and Twig are at, all of you hear this ringing sound coming from the south. The ringing of cannon fire. As there is just a hail of cannons from the Southern Star that fire out this like hail of cannon fire slamming up and over as two of the cannonballs like slam directly into Barin as he's just thrown down and crashes into the ground underneath you as all of you hop in, push the boat off, and you begin to row like you never have before, just constantly rowing and rowing and rowing as cannons just continue to hail from the ship as you begin to move closer and closer and closer until eventually you can see that Barin, one of his wings like snapped and cracked as he moves out of the thick brush of the forest. That wing broken, unable to move, unable to flap, as he's now just walking. And you can see that as all of you begin to sail away, begin to row away in that small boat. No quivers, no arrows in his quiver, just a bow at his hand. He just stands there with this look of disgust and hatred aimed at all of you. But eventually you make your way back to the Southern Star. The rowboat is brought up safely, and all of you return to the ship with a very inquisitive-looking Heather Scott. And we're going to go ahead and take a quick break right there.
Long time no see. So
Hey,
what
bud.
happened was...
Alrighty. Well, good job. You made it out. Proud of you. Okay, so with that, we're going to go ahead and take a break, and then we will be right back after about 5 minutes. All right? So, see you then. So we're looking at a 12, which is a failure. Looking at a 14, which is a failure. Looking at a 10, which is a failure. And for the last one, we're looking at a 2, which is a failure. Now time for the Phantom Mage. Let's see. And that is going to be a 15 with a...
Has he got a minus one?
with a -1 to dexterity. Oh, that's too funny. Alrighty, so that's going to go ahead and be a 14. So every single one of them, Eurydice, are going to fail.
That is 30 points.
Yes, I am. So last we left off, our intrepid group of adventurers.
Boo.
You won't do it, so I had to.
Is a shitty lich. That is the best description of this person I can come up with for you. They are most liches when they are formed. They have to have been a very elite mage, wizard, necromancer, perhaps a warlock, something like that, in order to bring them into an undead arcane.
Oh wait, he has advantage because pack tactics.
Yes, he does.
That was sad. Okay, well, fuck you and give me my fucking strength saving throw.
The horn playing twice really sold that.
Yeah, it really did.
So these
Picking carrots right now.
I thought when she said I have to go tend to the garden, it was some kind of like, you know, just like I need to go tend to the garden. That is time.
Nope.
Just I'll be right back.
Nope, this time looks like a real one. It's right there.
Okay.
About 20
Alright.
feet away.
Hey, it's because she's tending to the perennials.
Okay, I
God.
think it'd be best if we split up now.
Did not have all the ingredients of said cocktail when I made it.
Alec blinks.
It's a metaphor, I'll tell you later.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sorry. She's just gonna hold up her hands like, I'm
I-
sorry.
I did say I didn't promise any.
And I'm gonna flip to everyone else.
Okay. Alrighty. So all of you begin to ride that way, and as soon as you get within range, after moving your way through the fairgrounds, which as of right now are a little dull, it's about noon, so there are some small games happening, and you can see there are a few sparring matches going on. These people anywhere between plate and chain, and so,
Does anybody else hear that fucking annoying sound?
what, your fucking voice?
Very funny. You slay me. But the buzzing. Just every
What
now
do you mean
and then.
buzzing? Of course it's fucking buzzing. We're in a forest, fuck's sake.
It's different. It feels like it's fucking everywhere.
Discussions that don't come up as often. Have you noticed that Cecily carries around stale pieces of bread?
She what?
Yeah, she snacks on them.
Like, she waits for them to be stale.
I don't think she waits for them to be stale. I think that she takes them when they're...
Come on, Annie'll gonna do that, like... awkward like hug thing that guys do, where it's like it's hard, and then you're like slap mouth in the body. Like, I'm still
Yeah.
a man.
Yeah. Nalfin will do that clear throat thing and just be like, yep.
Is there supposed to be music? Does anyone want music? No, okay. I'm just gonna eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Does anyone know? No. Does anyone know? We could do music. Music would be cool. That'd be very name day-y for music.
Beetle armor it is.
I'd say maybe that's on the bottom end of the priorities, if excuse the pun.
I hear Joe dying in the next room.
Oh, yes. Bottom end. Very well. I'll keep an eye out. Anything else?
Maybe there'll be simple riddles like, what does the fox say?
Fuck you.
Let's just go and look over to Alice.
I'm gonna what did you say the satyr's name was? Tolaman?
Tellerin.
Tellerin, okay. I'm
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god.
The fuck is happening?
Yeah, that's
how
bullshit, Joe.
How the fuck
That's
does that
bullshit.
happen?
That's bullshit.
Do you still have inspiration?
You do!
Yeah,
You do!
use your Christmas
You do!
inspiration.
Use your Christmas
Use your
inspiration!
Christmas
You need to
inspiration.
use that inspiration. Oh my god.
I wanna use the inspiration.
That's bullshit.
You just roll the one. You just roll the one. You just roll the one. It gives you a reroll. It's like a point of luck.
I can't reroll both of them.
No, you can't reroll both of them. Just a normal roll.
Are you fucking kidding me? Joe, no. Throw it out. Throw it out. I call a fucking foul. A fucking call a foul.
So,
Guess we're gonna attack
LS?
the Burning Cove.
I listen to stuff. You just gotta.
Alrighty. Hello, everybody. We are back. So let's go ahead and undeafen, and we'll get back into it. Hello, we are back.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi.
Howdy there.
Yeah.
Hi.
Go ahead and unmute.
How's it going?
Let me turn off anxious strings.
Yeah. They were anxious.
That they were. Turn on these two bad boys. Okay. Alrighty. So with that, all of you, you begin to board the ship with a new ally, which is kind of a kind of a reoccurring trend for all of you to board with new allies like every other time you exit. So as you begin to board onto the ship, and you can see Heather Scott, the captain of this ship, a companion that you've had for some time now. He kind of looks at all of you with that same kind of very smiley, very cocky grin, just saying, so, we don't need to talk about it, but,
Yeah, it's better not to ask questions this time around.
Yep. I do have to ask, see, you found a friend.
Nalfin will turn and look at Velitha.
You got it, yep.
Hey.
Yes, hello. My name is Velitha. Ah, Velitha. Oh. Pleasure's all mine, Captain Heather Scott. Well, guess there's room in the quarters where all of you stay in. Are they staying with you for the journey, or are they headed somewhere else?
Well, I figured, Velitha, now that you can go wherever it is you please, where do you want to go? I mean, we are headed towards Wheat Hill. Kind of glances down at Yuri, who's in his arms, passed out. Or is she awake? Is she up?
I'm like a little bit awake. Mostly half crest. That kind of direction.
I'm sorry, Hothcrest?
Oh, that's right.
It's a
Yeah,
college
things have
with lots of
changed. Yeah. I think you got a lot of catching up to do. But, like Eurydice said, there are a lot of books. Maybe someone there can help you with, well, your book.
Maybe this is a place of scholars, librarians. Yes?
No. Alfin just looks at Yuri because he don't fucking know. He's just assuming.
Has Yuri been to... She's not been to the college. She's just been to, like, has she been to the college?
You probably would
She's
have been to the
city, right?
college. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah. So she's like, yeah, it's a school. So there's a lot of scholars, people that are really good at magic and knowledge and all that kind of thing. That's probably the best place for you to go.
Well, then I will go there. If they have information, if they may know things, I can learn what exactly is going on in this world that I haven't exactly been exposed to in a while. Tell me if I may know, did anything ever come of... Oh, there was a young man. What was his name? Tarkaz Omen?
Nalf blinks.
Like King Omen?
Yeah, I was gonna say, was that one of the...
Yeah, so Twig and Eurydice, you'd be able to clock this as studious people. Nalfian, history of the above world, not exactly your forte, not exactly what was taught in Drow boarding school.
Wow,
in
cool
Baynir,
called that.
yeah, Baynir boarding school. Tarkaz Omen was the first king of Tarkir. He was the first Omen, which his first name is the namesake of the nation. Tarkir, Tarkaz.
Yeah, he became king of a country. Have you never heard of Tarkir?
Tarkir, no. What lands are those located in?
You know, we'll get a map at some point. We'll show you. But he became king, and now there's a long line of omens who are kings of Tarkir.
He became a king? Oh.
Yeah.
There were never very many good stories of heroes becoming rulers, but I suppose if his kingdom is still standing, he must have done a good job. That is interesting. Well, we can talk later. I think that I need some time to think about exactly what I want to do.
I think Heather Scott may have a map. Nalvin kind of like looks over at Heather Scott. Maybe somewhere in the captain's quarters can point out a few places. He's great. I mean, he's real talker, real charmer. This one. I'm sure he'd love to show you around.
Yeah.
And Nalvin will just like pat him on the back, slide him towards Velitha. Velitha?
Yeah. It's so funny because you said it right like 4 times.
Whatever. Nalvin's sliding him their way.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. I guess I'll give you the brief of the history lesson of the material plane for the past
Yeah, a couple hundred years. You got it.
couple hundred. She didn't know who Tarkaz Omen was, Nalfian. That's 2,000 years.
I just know who he is now. What do you want? You got it. Men of the ship.
Yeah. Okay. Here we'll get some tea. We'll get some sandwiches. We'll have a nice little history lesson. Now, I'll try and answer any questions you have. Now, keep in mind, and as the two of them walk away, he's like, I'm not a historian, but I've been around a little bit, so hopefully, I have worldly experiences. I got street smarts. So hopefully I'll be able to let you know the correct things about most of these things. As they go in, and you are afraid that Heather Scott is going to incorrectly teach her the history of the world.
Oh well, not my job.
Just go to the college. If she wants to learn about things, she can learn about it there.
Yeah.
I just want to say, because it's so funny to me to think that you're going to take this 2,000-year-old elf of the nation that existed before Iverion was established, 2,000 years before, or 1,600 years before Iverion was established. You're giving her to Heather Scott to teach about what's been happening.
Yeah, you say this like this is a bad idea. I don't see what you mean.
But then you're going to have this very old elf
Her to Heather Scott.
going to take him to the college, and no, here's the thing, is you're going to take him to the college, and then this elf is going to be like, oh, I know how things actually happened 1,000 years ago, because I was there. And then just gives them the wrong information, and they just take her and change the historical text because it's what Captain Heather Scott told her.
Hey, fam.
Why you hate on Heather Scott so hard? Like,
now.
I'm not. It's just
he's a worldly man.
Yeah.
He's well traveled.
He's well traveled. He knows people in places. He doesn't know history.
Well, it's too late now. He's already
It's
gone.
okay. No, it's very funny.
I feel like Miatso would know.
Nah, no, Heather Scott. Now that you've blew up his ego, he's like, yeah, okay, I can do this.
Okay, yeah, but like, what are we doing if we're not bothering Miatso to give lore dumps? Like,
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
Miatso.
Miatso actually is living with Barin now because he wants to feel safe for once. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put.
Great, we're rapping on like Miatso stuff.
Okie dokie.
Nalfian is gonna put Eurydice in her room.
Okay.
Whop.
Thanks.
Throw her in the bed there. He's not gonna say anything because he's not happy with her, but now's not the time to bring it up. So he's just gonna kind of like gently put her down.
Mm-hmm.
He is gonna say, I'm sorry. I just wanted to get him away from all of them, and it was a bad idea. A little, maybe.
Try a lot. You know, you're not supposed to be the one doing stupid things.
I feel
Pretty sure that's my
that
job.
was gonna happen no matter what. And he needed to break his one rule.
We did, but we had to. But that doesn't mean we should be throwing ourselves into the air for someone to shoot us down.
He's not gonna say anything. She's just gonna kind of look at the ground.
You know, ever since, and I say this with no disrespect to either of you, because I've seen what you guys can do. You both can handle yourself. You both can take people down. You know what you're doing. But ever since Grok left, I don't like to say that I can't be in two places at once, because we all know I can. But I couldn't live with myself if something happened to either one of you. Especially if there was a way that I could have stopped it. Right, well, both of you need to sleep. I will, let you do that. And he's just gonna kind of like give Eurydice a look maybe a little squeeze in her hand, and then before he leaves the room, he's gonna flip Twig's hood down. And just give her a smile before leaving.
He does that too. Also, just like down, wait for him to leave, and then pull it back up again.
Oh, you did not! Okay.
Okay.
Yuri's gonna like let Lucky out of the amulet.
Oh, well, that is so much better. Thank you. Oh, I was starting to get a little cramped. I thought you were going to leave me in there forever.
No, I only put you in there when it's not safe for you to be outside of it.
Okay. I believe you.
But it's okay now.
Okay.
Okay, I will never leave you in there. And she
Okay.
will, like, stroke his, like, little face and, like, yeah. And just kind of cuddle him.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
She just snuggles up next to you.
You capable of putting it in one fucking message, Caleb.
Or, you know, maybe just speaking it as we all sit in silence.
Yeah, now
reading what you're typing.
I want you guys to sit in silence.
Yeah, Nalfian, you just feel a disturbance in the force. It's just...
Can I roll? Let me roll something.
Would it be a disturbance in the force or like, you know,
peek a little
return
back in
to,
there.
like, you know, normal?
No, we
Now,
worked so hard.
It's up to you.
Nah,
if you-
Yuri will just telekinesis the hood back down. There you go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Mom. Hell yeah, Mom.
Twig will be stubborn in that moment and just gonna pull up again and she's gonna like hold on to it and then she's just gonna curl up into bed.
Damn it.
This is so
You
stupid.
child.
She is a child. What do you expect? Damn it. We worked so
She's
hard.
like, she wasn't gonna be so mad about it, but just because everyone's doing it, it's just like,
No, this is fucking Gemma. This isn't even Twig anymore.
Okay, well, now it's gonna fucking crash.
Yeah. Okay.
One of those not even sleeping under the covers kind of sleep.
Oh, yeah, just kind of fall down and pass out.
Yep.
Yeah, I get you there. Okay, so for the next couple of days, your guys' sleep schedule is going to be a little messed up. Eurydice, it does take you 2 days to get over the exhaustion, because each day of sleep gets rid of 1 point of exhaustion. So it's a little bit more of a process for you. But any of the islands that you see over the course of the next 3 or 4 days in your journey to that small port city outside of, on the northern peninsula of Iverion, they're just small little islands that you can like look at and see the entirety of the island just from the bow of the ship. Or they're like little atolls. Nothing too insane, nothing too big. So over the course of those couple of days, is there any conversations you guys want to have? Any crew members that you want to go and talk to?
I mean, Twig would be interested to talk to Velitha, to see what she knows about the Dowie, honestly.
Okay. Very interesting. All right, so we'll say that maybe on the second day, after one of her lessons with Heather Scott, world famous, as she has like a small notebook that she's like been keeping the notes of what Heather has been teaching her, so to speak. You're able to catch her maybe in like the on the bow of the ship, just kind of looking over, just amazed by all of the sea and just finally being free of that island, being able to leave. You're able to sort of find her up there, and as you approach, she smiles at you. She is holding the burned tome in her hands, just sort of looking out on the water. But as you approach, she does smile at you, so it seems like she's willing to reciprocate conversation if you start.
I don't mean to disturb you. Were you around when the Dowie were?
The Dawi. Oh, yes, there was the dwarves. Very odd. We used to have. Well, I was born after the curse, but in the books that I could find, when I would sneak into the library, there were some trade charters about deals between the Dawi and those of the Isle of Altinian. In fact, as I said before, Altinian was the seat of the Empire of Altinian, where I guess this nation of Iverion is. I believe that's how you say it. The place that we are currently in right now. It extended a little more far north and a little bit further south. But those mountains that were all along those sides of the map, all the way from the very bottom of what I believe is called Macavia, and all the way to the very, very north in Loshar, which, Loshar, I'm glad to know that some things haven't changed too much. But all along the mountains of Eridane, they lived there. They were as spanning of a civilization as we were. While we looked upward and outward to the mysteries of the universe, they looked down into the depths of the darkest abyss. And I suppose from whatever accounts there were, they seemed to find something what they were looking for. I believe that I read once that they were searching for a new king, and they found one. But it wasn't a dwarf, it was a man. I feel like there was a description of him. That's right, it was odd because he was an elf. But that would have been some 2,000 years ago? Maybe even more, to 2,500 maybe? A very, very long time ago.
Why would they need a new king? And especially not one that was, I guess, a fellow dwarf.
Well, some people see there is some stock to be put into unbiased leaders. If you have a civilization that has multiple species of people, whether they be dwarves or elves or humans or dragonborn or gnomes or halflings, it could cause problems if you have one person being the leader of the majority population. It could make all the others feel unsafe. It could make them feel, it could make them feel that they are not cared for. So
the Dawi had that problem then?
Well, problem, I'm not so sure, but towards the end of their civilization, they did start to accept more and more people. They made people honorable Dawi, even if they were not dwarves. So they could have had a high influx of elves who wished to serve the Dawi and whatever they were trying to accomplish. And so this new leader was picked. I never knew what happened to the old king. It never said that he died. Just said that he lost his position of power.
Were they still known as a good people? I guess empire, then?
Well, it's a tale as old as time that dwarves will grow greedy. They'll dig too deep and find terrible secrets within the mountain that were never meant to be found. But in terms of what they accomplished, from what I know, they did good things. Up until that elf. Then things started to get a little bit more shaky, if you know what I mean. They didn't interact with other cultures or people as often. They were very isolated after that.
I guess, do you know what this elf's name was?
No, it was never said in the books. There was one. I don't know if it was a coincidence or not, but there was a. I don't know if it's still there. I hope it is. It was one of the wonders of the world from when I was growing up. It was a tower. The northern reaches of the mountains of the Salamander Coast. Apparently this same elf, as well as Tarkov's Omen, they were able to scale this tower where thousands of others had tried and take a piece of the first flame, is what it was called, with them. Apparently this elf was able to climb the tower and was seen to be worthy and was given the light. That was maybe
You mean the
4,000.
Tower in Bromsgrove?
Bromsgrove? And you can see like on her like accent, it just like is so like clunky as she tries to say it.
Oh, well, I guess that would be new then, too.
Bromsgrove. Bromsgrove. Okay.
I think that's close enough, at least.
That is very interesting. I had asked how many areas. Twig's not saying that. That was me. Sorry. I had asked of what the great cities around the world were, and Heather Scott did not mention that one. If the city is built around the tower, then it must be a great city, yes?
Well, it's pretty large as far as I'm concerned.
I always read about it. Maybe that's where I'll go. Bromsgrove. Bromsgrove. Odd.
Velitha. sorry, couldn't resist.
This part of her character was
Velitha,
inspired by
sorry.
you, yeah.
You're welcome.
But she kind of smiles and says, who knows, maybe if they don't know how to repair burnt books in the College of Hathcrest, they'll know how to do it in Bromsgrove.
Well, I imagine. I feel like that just from size alone, there surely would be someone that could help you.
I hope so. The world is very different from what I read about all those years. It's a little scary. I feel like a small child out lost without family or without guidance, just wandering.
I mean, it's not like you wouldn't have the help of the ship anymore.
I could not stand to be a burden on any of you. You have already done me a great enough service, and I don't deserve the kindness. I lied to all of you, and I'm very sorry for that. The first city that we stop at, if it seems safe enough, I will try to find passage myself. I just couldn't bear to be a burden any longer than what I've already been.
I mean, it's not like you wouldn't be welcomed back if you ever, I guess, wanted to come further south again.
I suppose you're right. And if I ever were to come back, well, I at least know where I could find good company. As considering all of you were the first other humanoids I've met in a very, very, very long time, I have to say that it was a mostly positive experience. So I know that if I ever come back, I will definitely come back to see all of you. But I think understandably I want to get away from I want to get away from Iverion.
Well, I mean, I guess it's understandable. Although, just one more question. I don't think you would, but you wouldn't know anything about, I guess, the Forrester house?
The Forrester house. I'm sorry, is this a noble house of Iverion?
I guess it was. It's okay if you don't know. I was just curious.
Sadly, I don't think that I do. If I think of anything, Forrester, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if it's related. But there was one book that I read from the library about a Kivan Forrester. Sorry, let me... Forrester. I'm not sure how old the book was, but I did read that they, they were, a guardian of a sort. They had this immaculate and very strong connection to the forest and of the earths in the southern realms of Iverion, near the mountain range. Because apparently I was told that the forests are now on fire down there, which is very sad to hear.
Well, no, it's a good kind of fire, I guess.
Well, it didn't always used to be that way. Back even before when I was born, some 10,000 years ago there were, and it was a barren wasteland of nothing, no life, no anything. And there was one man who came sailing in on a small ship with nothing but one small seed. That one man, he turned that one small seed into a beautiful, spanning, lush forest, covering all of, I guess, the realms of Iverion. It was his life's work, to take inhospitable things and make them hospitable. And the forest stayed that way for a long, long, long time. But that land was coveted by many, many entities. And one of the last accounts that I had of the area was there was a dragon that served under the dragonborn lords of Altinian, but began to grow restless and aggressive. He became reclusive and was plotting something. I always assumed that he would do something dangerous. And when I heard that there was a forest on fire, I thought that maybe the flames that he had used were, well, that lit the forest on fire. But if you say it is a good thing, then I would believe you.
Well, I think it's less of it's set on fire and more of it is, well, it's made of fire.
That's interesting. I wonder how it became that way. As I said, even when I was younger, in any of the books I could find, it talks of the forests to the south of the Isle being lush, green, untouched by primordial magic.
Guess that's just another thing that's changed then.
As do many things.
And well, I know that you say that you don't really want to be in Iverion, but I mean, it's certainly a nice place.
It is quite beautiful. You're right, but there are so many beautiful places in this world that I never got the chance to see, only to read about. So I'd like to see them.
Well, thank you.
No, you are welcome. I was very happy to help. I'm glad that all those books that I read finally came in handy to somebody.
And, well, what it is worth. I'm sorry that all that information, I guess, will stay lost.
It is no one's fault. These things happen. I've lived like this for 2,000 years. What is a few more before I can get it fixed?
Well, I just feel like Banran might have other ideas about how things should happen. I don't imagine he'd be very welcoming to anyone else coming onto that island, and especially not the city.
No. No. But it is strange that you all were the only ones in, well, 2,000 years to be able to find the island. There was never any other travelers or shipwrecks or anything on the island. Ever since trade stopped after I was born. You were the only ones who arrived. So even if this college wants to find it, I doubt they will be able to.
Well, hopefully someone would be able to find it again.
Yes, well. Honestly, if they can't, I wouldn't exactly be that upset. It gives me a great deal of comfort knowing that Baden will not be able to leave that island. Well, I have taken up.
That's also true.
I believe that I need to head back to the captain's quarters to continue my lesson for the day.
Well, I hope that the Scott's a good teacher.
He, as far as I can tell, he's a very good teacher. He's very knowledgeable. He speaks with much confidence. Nelfian was right. He definitely does know what he's talking about. There are a few older things that I need to correct him on, but anything new, it all makes sense.
Well, I guess if he's been on the sea for a long time, he would know a thing or two.
Oh, yeah. He has spent a lot of time talking about all these different trade routes. We spend a lot of time talking about trade routes and what different merchants will have on their ship based off the color of their sails, and how sometimes they have that too. It's a lot of things about ships and not quite as much stuff about history. But regardless, these are things that I never got to learn about, so I suppose I'm not that upset.
That's good then, at least.
Yes. Well, if there's anything you wish to ask Twig, or if I think of anything else based off of what we talked about, I will come find you, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. She'll smile, and with that, she'll walk down the stairs, and she'll head back to the captain's quarters to continue her lessons with Captain Heather Scott. Okay. So, moving on from there, what else we got? So, as Twig finishes up her conversation, where else we going?
Yuri has two things to do.
All right.
Okay, one is with Heather Scott and one is with Velitha. So, you clarify, how long until we get to this port?
You probably still have about another week and a half, 2 weeks of travel.
Right.
So there's going to be one more stop on your way there. Well, two more, actually. Sorry.
Okay. Alright, and this is the one that Yuri left from? When she left the... Okay.
Yes, the one that you are arriving in is the one that you would have... Oh, no, you would have left from Saltport. This is not Saltport.
Okay.
Yeah, because here, if
I thought we switched it, so this was the one that she was at last.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, we switched it, I think.
Yeah. You're right.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, she's gonna go find Velitha, not on the... She's gonna do her whole rest thing. And get her exhaustion levels back.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's gonna go find Velitha when she's not busy. And she's gonna be like, "Hey, how are you doing?"
Oh, well, I'm fine. I have been learning quite a bit over the past couple of days about, well, a lot about ships. But for the most part, I still think that I'm learning things that I maybe would not have gotten otherwise.
Well, that's good. So I wanted to ask you a question, but first, I really want to apologize. I know we were trying not to destroy things, and I just got carried away, and I was trying to do damage to them, and I ended up burning the books, and I'm really sorry.
It is all right. I have spent much time trying to find a way to undo it. And if it takes another year or two to have the details of the book found again, then so be it. I've lived so long this way, if I have to live a few more years, it is not the worst thing in the world. So do not blame yourself. You did what you thought was necessary in the moment, and who knows, if we wouldn't have dealt with those creatures fast enough, there's a good chance that Barin could have showed up sooner. And then who knows what we would have done.
All right. I will help you find the things that were lost in that book anyway. But I also had a question, because when we met, you mentioned that one of the only reasons you trusted us was because of my tattoos. And you said something about touched by the light or something like that? What does that mean?
I would have elaborated more if I would have known that you didn't know. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, we didn't have a lot of time. I just thought I'd ask later.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Well, in all honesty, you see, one of the reasons why the Dragonborn chose to work with elves, it wasn't just high elves or wood elves or even just dark elves. It was any kind of elf. Whichever ones they accepted to be on the Isle, they had to be like me, like you. And you can see that hers are much more wispy. They're not as rigid and hard edges as yours are. And it's not that yours are very swoopy, but they're very clear and concise in their shape. They're very flame-like. But hers just looks more like just almost flowing rivers, kind of like veins of water, just flowing from her face all the way down and around her body. She says, "You see, when I say touched by the light, there are people the Creator chooses. People who can be bastions of light, who can, what is the best way to think of it? You are a candle, and there are many people around you who are as well, but their flames are extinguished. You are someone who can go from person to person to person and relight their flame, bring light back into their life, but being what you are, by bringing light into other people's life, you don't diminish yours at all. Sadly, my connection to the Creator has been lost because of, well, the curse, which is one of the reasons I wanted to break it so I could feel their warmth again. But for now, I do not. But I had assumed that because you had similar markings, that you were also one of these people. But your markings are different than what I've seen before, but the same in a way. And the amulet you possess, it gives off the energy of the creator.
So, quick history lesson on the creator. Is this like the god?
Make a history check for me
Ooh.
real quick as you're just kind of listening to her talk.
Yeah, this is kind of new. Me at least. Ooh, that's not bad. History. That's a unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20? Okay. So as
Unnatural.
Unnatural, yeah. So as you are listening to her talk, there are a few things that run through your mind. Obviously, any of the gods that you would know about from your time working with temples. Someone like Arathis is known as the Crafter. Pelor is known as the Light. Bahamut is known as the Maker, but none of those deities are known as the Creator. And from the small bits of reading you would have done, from books you may have gotten from the college, either gifted to you or rented to read, had any of them been about religion, you may have read very briefly about an entity known as the Creator. But most of the time in most books, the Creator and Bahamut are synonymous. But it's hard to describe because they're used interchangeably, but the way that the Creator is described from time to time and the way that they react is different than what Bahamut is known to react as. And whenever they refer to Bahamut as the Maker, then those two entities act the same. But whenever they describe how the Creator acts, it's different than how Bahamut and the Maker react. But most books just kind of attribute the Creator to being another name for Bahamut. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Yuri's gonna you can see the kind of cogs moving, and she's just kind of like. So, anything I've read kind of uses Creator and Bahamut interchangeably, but not quite.
Oh no. They are not the same.
Okay.
Bahamut is the creator of dragonborn kind. And Bahamut was one of the first servants of the Creator. The Creator giving a part of his power, giving a part of their life and power to create dragons, and then in turn to create giants. And giants and dragons being the first two entities to exist in the realms that we know today. And from then and there on, the two of them began to create other things. Bahamut was lonely and wanted companionship, a friend. So Bahamut in turn gave half of his power to create Tiamat. But Tiamat grew jealous of Bahamut's time that she was never able to have, so there was betrayal. And that is when Tiamat fell from grace, and so on and so forth. And the giants, or the Jotun, not giants as in big things, but just a group of an entity known as the Jotun. They began to create the offsprings of dwarves and man and elf, giving a small part of themselves until what used to be massive titans as tall as mountains were now the same size as you and me. At least that is what the stories say. And some
Okay.
of these humans, these dwarves, these elves, they accomplished great deeds, and they were gifted by the Creator. They were spared their mortality, and they were allowed a seat on their side in Celestia, or who knows. And those mortals who lived their lives to the full extent of what they could be, they then were gifted divinity. Gifted a chance to make a real difference.
Okay. So she's kind of looking very mind blown. Like, what? And then kind of like hands kind of on her face. She's like, well, on her own face, obviously. She's gonna be like, okay, so let's say theoretically someone was born with these markings, and then they disappeared, and then they came back again later in life.
Well, that is very strange. And you can see this immediate look of confusion on her face. We are born gifted by the Creator. There is a term, it's in the old tongue, the language of the Creator. This sort of influence of draconic and giant. They are known as Helmakati. They are people that, and of course, I'm not sure if my terminology is outside of what is used normally now, but we would refer to existence and the way that time moves. We would compare it to a weave. The way that magic lays on top of the world and that time passes through it. Is that still a thing?
I think so, yeah.
So there are certain entities that are so tied to fate and so tied to the weave that they no longer are pushed by the weave or pushed by that wheel. They aren't woven into the time or woven into the weave. They are pushing it forward. The weave is changing around them. It is guiding them on their path to make sure that they accomplish what deeds they need to. Now, not everyone gifted by the Creator is Helmakati, but some are. And she kind of reaches and places a hand on your knee. She's just kind of sitting across from you. Eurydice, you and your friends found that island that no one else had. You were born with the marks of the Creator, and you wear that amulet around your neck. I don't know what the Creator or what the Weave has in store for you. But it has to be something important. She'll kind of tap your knee and then kind of withdraw her hand back.
Oh, that's
Probably very overwhelming, I'm sure.
a little, but helpful to know because I had no idea. Yeah. Thank you. She's like, she just looks very confused, but not like at what Velitha said, more like she's trying to figure something out. Just trying to make sense of this and then adding it into everything else she knows and just trying to make it.
Yeah. Totally. And she'll kind of see you perplexed and say, in this moment, I don't think more information is going to help. So, if you have time to think and you have any more questions, I'd be more than happy to share what I know.
Okay, thank you. That's really helpful. Thanks. Yep, I might, maybe.
Very well. She'll stand and smile and say, well, I hope that, don't think too hard. I hear that that is hard on your brain.
Yeah. Yeah. I will.
And with that, she'll smile and she'll head out of the room.
Okay. Right. Yuri's just gonna brain blast, try and figure this out. And at some point she's gonna go find Heather Scott, but if anyone else has anything they want to do first.
You can talk to Heather Scott first. I do have, but I can wait.
Sure. Okay. And she's gonna go find Heather Scott then.
Okay. So you, we'll say that, maybe a few hours pass, and eventually you are able to find Heather Scott. Him and Velitha have taken a break from their history lesson. As you can see up near the, up near Jordik, currently up there, just talking to her about their navigation, where they're going, where they're heading. And as you walk up to the quarter deck, the rear end of the quarter deck, he says, Eurydice, pleasure seeing you up here. Something I can help you with?
Hi. Yes, actually, can I talk to you alone, please?
Yeah, of course. Here, we can go to the captain's quarters.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So, and as the two of you are
gonna
walking
go.
along, kind of just walk and open the door for you and shut it behind him. Here, take a seat.
Thanks.
Sit down at the table with you. So, what's going on? What is so important that you need to talk to me in private?
I need a favor from you.
All right, now I'll let you know that my rate is not cheap. I'm just kidding. Whatever you need, whatever you
We've
need.
got all these things. We got so much business.
I know, you're fine, you're fine. What's going on, Eurydice?
When we get to the Riverlands and we get into port, I need you to make sure nobody hears my name.
Got it. Enough said.
Okay.
Now, do you have a preferred alias that you've used before when you come here, or do you need to make up a new one? Miyato knows how to make those papers. In case you're coming from another place, I can give you the proper immigration papers. We can get all that made for you.
I actually don't. I've never made one before. That's yeah. Well, I'm gonna be disguising myself anyway, just because the look as well doesn't help. It's rather distinctive.
You're right. Yeah, tattoos, face tattoos, typically make people a little more recognizable. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I need to think of a name, don't I? What's easy to remember? Because I also would need Nalfian and Twig and Blossom to make sure they don't call me Eurydice, so I need something easy to remember.
What if you just have them call you E? Or maybe Eurydice. Shut up, Nalfian. Trying to think of something easy so you don't mess it up. I mean, it's really up to you. I mean, if you give them a name, they're going to remember it, especially if this is something that's important to you.
Yeah. No, I just really don't want anyone to know I'm here.
Okay, what about Ella? Human woman, blonde hair, maybe mid to late 40s, coming from Western Salamander. There's the war going on, everything that's happening in Fjordaleth and Delner's Pass. You needed to get away, you didn't feel safe, you left Rogthankar, you came here because Iverion is a much more civilized place. No, let's not do Ella, Western Salamander. Estrid is a really popular name.
Okay. And Eurydice's gonna suddenly change her appearance to become what Heather Scott suggested.
Can you make yourself taller?
A little bit.
A little bit, and more broad. They are big women in Western Salamander. There you go. That's good.
This feels weird. She like looks down at herself.
Yeah, you're like Sigrun's build right now. That blonde woman that you saw. Last thing is your eyes. Blue.
Blue.
All right.
Okay.
There you go. That is it. Look at you, Estrid. Estrid doesn't need a last name.
No.
All right. Well, good.
Okay. Right. I get to see you two going fucking nuts in the chat. And she's gonna just kind of nod and then like walk over to the mirror and just kind of look at herself.
Mm.
Okay. Alright. Thank you. By the way, Alan should be easy to. Estrid.
Estrid.
Yep, just
Not-
remember that.
Yes, your papers are going to say
No.
Estrid. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And just in case, I don't know if you've ever done a fake identity in a town that has a lot of immigration problems, like West Hollow, but don't go waving around the papers, right? If there's a guard that asks you, do you live here? Are you just staying? If they start to ask you questions, show them the papers, and they will move on. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Right.
But for now, I mean, you can stay that way if you want, but I have a feeling that if Eurydice walked in here and you walked out, people might have some questions.
Yeah, that seemed a little bit weird.
Yeah.
She just kind of goes back to Eurydice. Oh, that feels more normal.
Yes, that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Happy to help. Before we get to West Hollow, I'll make sure that Miatso has those papers done for you, okay?
Thank you. Yep, that's, yeah.
All right.
Oh, I'm glad I asked you because I didn't even think of papers.
That's what I'm here for.
Uh-huh. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna smile and leave. She doesn't think he's gonna ask any questions, but she just doesn't want to give him the chance to.
Yeah, no. And you could tell that maybe there was a moment as you were leaving where he kind of leaned over towards you, but he decided not to ask. He decided not to pry. He knows everybody kind of has their own little thing. Or in Eurydice's case, a really big thing. So, Eurydice, you exit out the room.
Joe.
And you head back to your room. Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty, so then Nalfian, you said you had something you wanted to do?
I got two things. Sorry.
No,
First,
pick
maybe
one.
3. I don't know.
That's all right.
First thing is quick. He just wants to go and find Miatso, his favorite buddy.
Miatsu's like meditating in the hold, and he hears you walk down, and he just knows your footsteps, and he says, Miatsu is afraid.
Miatso, my dear, dear friend. It's been such a long time. I missed you. Really, I did. But I need something from you.
Miatsu is meditating?
We'll stop. It won't take long.
Miatsu will stop meditating. He just sort of like turns to face you, hands in his lap, still sitting cross-legged. Yes, Nalfian?
Right. What do you see? Specifically, and he just kind of like shifts a little uncomfortably. The eyes last time, where are they? Are they closer? Are they farther away? Are they gone?
Um, and he looks at you. The eyes. It's no longer just eyes. There are 30 women. Faces.
What? 3?
One woman is of green skin, flowers for hair. She is to your right, looking over your shoulder. The other woman's face is above your head. Blood red lips and blood dripping from her teeth. Dripping from her teeth. She's wearing a crown. Looks like
I know what it looks like. What about the other one?
the third one is shifting. It is unable to decide. There is, for a moment, I see a woman of pale complexion. With long hair. She looks very sad. She's looking away from you. But then there's a woman of dark complexion. Darker complexion. With an auburn-colored hair that looks towards you. Whenever the face turns to look, it changes.
All right. All right. Thank you. That's all I needed. Great job.
There is one more thing now.
Go back to your. There is. What is it?
Whenever I see this, I don't like to say because it makes me very uncomfortable, Alfian. And I don't like to tell people this. And you can see that intentionally the third person, the Miazzo, has kind of dropped. I don't know what is happening. But, and you see him kind of like side-eyeing the ground near you. I can see there's a body at your feet.
Well, that wasn't there before.
No.
Of who?
It is of,
Matzo, you're testing my patience.
I'm sorry that I'm testing your patience, but this is also difficult for me. I see you.
Who is it, Miazzo?
You. motionless at your own feet.
Me or the other one, or the other one. Which one?
It is, it is dead. And it is, leaking. It, wispy shadow. But it is
well,
you.
I got rid of that. Alright. I don't want to hear anymore. Go back to your meditation.
Nalfian,
Appreciate it.
I don't know what it is, and I'm sorry. I don't know what these things mean. I see them and I tell you. But if I were to make any inference, it means that whatever you thought you got rid of, it may be gone for now, but dark things leave their mark. And that woman that looms over your head, she does not look to be willing to let go of something that's very valuable to her.
Yeah, well, she doesn't fucking own me anymore. Alright,
No,
we're done.
she
This
doesn't,
conversation
but
is over.
But from the look in her eyes, she looks as though she does.
This conversation is over. And if I find out you say any of this to anyone,
How long are you going to keep running from your past? This wispy connection, this darkness that is attached to you? Do you think that running from it is going to help? You do this every single time. You and Twig both come to me. You ask me, what do you see? What do you see? What do you see? And then you especially get mad at me when I tell you. I try to give you the answers to help yourself. The things that I see to help you. And then what do? You run from them. If you truly wanted my help, you would try and fix them. You wouldn't run from them. I'm sorry that I don't know exactly what any of this means. But it seems as though I am just as clueless as you are. So do not blame me. Never blame me for this. I will go back to meditating. And next time you want to know about what visions I see, make sure you're ready to confront them before you decide to get angry at me. He's just going to sit down and he's going to furiously close his eyes and just start trying to breathe and find concentration. And after a few moments, he can't. And he just... And he's just going to storm up from below deck.
Galfit's not gonna let him. He's just gonna, like, catch him. I am not running. I have been trying every fucking day to fix it.
For a man who is not running, you have a lot of things that are chasing you.
And he's going to try and sort of rip his arm away. And make his way
I'll
out.
let him go this time.
Okay. He'll make his way out, and then up the stairs, and then he's just going to go into the crew quarters on the main deck. Leaving you alone in the hold, Nalfian.
Alright, whatever the nearest, like, batten post, Nalf's just gonna fucking punch the shit out of it.
Slamming your fist into the wood.
And he's probably gonna do it till his knuckles are bleeding.
Yeah. And it takes maybe 4 or 5 hits, and just... Eventually your knuckles do, the skin begins to break, and you can feel the pain, but you just keep punching. Till eventually you make this small divot in the wood, and your just hands and knuckles are covered completely in blood.
He'll just stay down here.
Okay.
And probably just gonna put his head in his hands and just sit down there for the rest of the night.
Nalfian, I'd like you to roll a D100 for me.
Oh, I have to do that on here. $56.
Okay. Alrighty. So as you are as you're sitting there, you are just alone. And you wish for nothing more than to go back upstairs. But you just know you can't bring yourself to do that in this moment. And you can see your echo, Old Man Nalfian, just kind of shimmer into existence. And he looks sad, and you can see that you and him share a moment. He doesn't say anything. But in this brief moment, when you used to have something that would capitalize on moments of grief and anxiety and pain, you now have something that supports you and empathizes with you. Like I said, he doesn't say anything, but the two of you share a look. And you feel that connection and that empathy, that shared pain that the two of you have. So after that, after some time, it's up to you what you'd like to do.
I think it's almost a relief for him to have someone not heckling him after something like that. So he's gonna spend a few more moments down there. And does this look like where Miatsu kind of like normally hangs out?
Typically, yeah. At least as of late, to avoid you and Twig.
I'm gonna type you a thing that he's gonna write to Miatsu in a second, and just kind of like leave him a little note.
Okay, sounds good. Alrighty.
And then he's gonna go upstairs.
Alrighty. So you get upstairs before you miss family dinner night, before anybody really starts to worry about you.
and make your way back up. You sort of share in that meal together with the rest of the crew above deck. Willow once again continues his singing and poetry and his soliloquies, selections of performances from William Bosserman plays. Nalfine, you know that if you were in a better mood, you could definitely do them better, but you're not exactly in the mood right now. So, with that, yeah, I'd say that Nalfine, would you sort of cover those up? The bloody
I
knuckles.
mean, if he's probably not going to participate in Kingdoms and Castles, more like he's cheering on from behind. Because his hands are pretty fucked right now.
Yeah, okay. So making an active effort to make sure that nobody can see it. That makes sense. Okay. Sounds good. So we'll say that Yuri and Twig probably wouldn't be able to catch that then. Just as, you know, why would you be looking for that? So especially if he's not going to participate in the game. So, with that, the rest of the night continues. Was anybody going to do anything else on that night? Sort of seeing that. I think that all of you would be able to tell that Miazzo isn't eating with everybody. He's nowhere to be seen right now.
Did you get my message, Joe?
Ooh, here, let me check this out.
Oh, well, little Nelf said.
Okay. Okay. So he's not at dinner still, but we'll see if something develops from that.
I mean, he's not looking for him. He just left that down there.
Mm-hmm.
And then after everybody's done eating dinner, he's just gonna like ask Eurydice and Twig if he could speak with them for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty sure they're happy with that.
Wait, if you did what? I didn't catch that.
Talk to us too.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, no. Fuck Twig. She can stay at dinner.
Wow.
No.
I didn't understand what you were saying.
Privately, sorry. The music got really loud. Okay. So like after dinner, he probably didn't eat anything. He just would have asked if they could come to, I guess, their rooms. I guess that's where we're all now. Yeah. Yeah. And then he's just gonna stand there awkwardly for a long time in silence.
Is there something wrong?
I don't know how to answer that. Okay, so I'm going to tell you both a story. And I am going to ask that nobody asks any questions. And know that what I'm telling you is true. I wouldn't joke about this. And that I apologize for not sharing sooner. But this isn't easy for me. My name is Nalfine Bainir, and I am what? 16th born son of Malice Bainir. We were 4th in the city when I left. Just made our way to 3rd. Now when your son born in the Underdark, you got two choices. You can die the moment you're born, or you can fight and claw and train and train and train to be the best. And if they deem that you're good enough, they'll find a spot for you. I made sure I was good enough. And I had myself a nice little spot. I hated every minute I was there, but I had no choice but to do what I was told in order to survive. But you know this. That's the part of the story you do know. One day when we were doing what we do best, we were on the surface for a short time. We wanted to have a few drinks, celebrate our spoils. Never felt good about it. But being the best, they made you feel good about it. And that night was hard for me. But then the most kind and caring woman I've ever met in my entire life saw me sitting alone, drinking alone, and asked if she could sit down. Now, normally I'm the one approaching. She came up to me and she wasn't afraid. She looked at me and was not afraid. She told me my hair looked like shit. And she offered to fix it for me. And I let her. And we talked, and we drank, and we talked, and I've never met anybody to make my soul feel so alive. And to make me, to look at me like I wasn't raised to kill. And I went back there every single night. I went back there every single night. 2 years. I wasn't supposed to be there. I tried to make sure nobody knew I was there. That was my first mistake. I didn't know what love was. It doesn't exist where I'm from. That word doesn't exist. But when I looked into her eyes, I felt that. And I asked her to marry me. Just me and her, nobody else. Was it official? Fuck no. But it was official to the two of us. We were happy, and I decided one day that I wasn't gonna do this shit anymore. She didn't ask questions. She didn't care. But I did. And when my daughter was born, I knew I had to give up this. What kind of a man, what kind of a father lives his life taking others. And so I tried, I arranged everything. We were going to break free, scot-free, no one was gonna know, not even Malice. But that was my second mistake. You see, she knows and sees everything. She knew this entire time. She knew the moment I met her, the moment my daughter was born. She knew everything, and she plotted and she waited. I don't know who first volunteered to arrange it for her. But the day we were supposed to leave, I came to get the rest of my shit. And my brother, he got to me first, dragged me into the center of town. Every house, the whole fucking city was there. And there they were. My Liliana and my Rose up, strung up for me to watch. I couldn't move, and Malice made sure of that, and I had to sit there and watch as the only things that I had in my life that brought me joy and love were killed in front of me. And it was my fault. And I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do a fucking thing about it. Rose couldn't even walk. And to punish me, Malice said, to punish me, she wasn't going to kill me, no. She wasn't going to do me that satisfaction, no. Instead, she threw me to the deepest fucking parts of the Underdark and left me there to rot because she knew I didn't have the balls to do it myself. She knew I would sit out there and suffer until something else got me. And I can't tell you how many times I tried. But she was right, I couldn't do it. So I clawed, and I fought all that training she put me through. I used it, and I made my way up here. And I said, I'm gonna fucking start over. I'm not fucking running from anything. I just can't do that again, and I can't. I can't do it again. And I'm sorry if I've lied, if I gave you the wrong idea. That's all I have left of them. And he just points to the necklace that's around Twig's neck. It's not fair of me to put that on either of you. But Twig, when I look at you, I just wanted to do what was right. I wanted the chance to be what I couldn't. And fuck if that's wrong of me to put something like that on you. But if I'm gonna be a fucking knight, I can't lie about this anymore. And if she's coming after me, if she wants to finish what she started, then I can't hide it anymore. And he just kind of outstretches his arms.
I mean, why would...
And then she kind of like catches herself just like mid-sentence. Just immediately just falls silent. And Twig's just gonna get up and just hug Nalfian.
He's just gonna immediately fall to his knees and just hug Twig.
I'm sorry all that happened, Nalfian.
Yuri, in that moment, what do you do?
She is going to give them a second. And then she is going to quietly also kind of kneel down where like he kind of fell. It's just hugging Twig, and she's gonna also hug them both.
Okay.
Without saying anything.
I think Nalfian just can't say anything. He's expended every word he had. And he's just going to embrace both of them.
Okay. So all three of you tightly hug each other. Just being near one another, having that moment together. Is anybody saying anything, or are you just kind of sitting in this moment?
Nah, Nalfian can't say anything else.
I guess know what to say, so.
Okay.
So
Okay. So then, all of you in that moment, you just hug one another. You just are close to one another. Nothing but love and care for one another. As the camera sort of fades to black, panning away from the group hug. Twig, that night after Nalfian leaves, do you open the locket?
She wouldn't.
She wouldn't? Okay.
She would expressly wait for Nalfian to, you know, give the say-so.
I will say, like, in that moment, I feel like that was the only way he could say so, if that makes sense. Like, that was him giving her permission to do so, if she wanted to.
Okay, I mean, she wouldn't want to do that, like, in the moment, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, it probably wouldn't be until, like, a few hours after, like, probably been on her mind, but she just, like, almost didn't want to open it. Just, like, you know, it makes it real. But I think eventually, once, like, you know, since I mentioned this is in the evening.
Yeah.
Once she's, like, in bed, she's been thinking about it for probably, like, the past hour straight. And she will pop it open.
Okay. So, you see a small painted portrait of an elven woman holding a small child that you know now to be Liliana and Rose. And for a clearer look at what Liliana's face looks like, this is what she looks like.
You should just like sit in that moment, just looking at it.
In that moment, it becomes real. So, Twig, as you just kind of hold the locket in your hand, looking at the portrait of that beautiful elven woman and that adorable child, you have a small realization as to why Nalfian never wanted to talk about the Underdark. You close the locket, and do you put it back around your neck, or do you set it off to the side?
Keep it around her neck.
Okay. Lucky is hugging the shit out of you, too. Kind of going back and forth. Well, no, just you and then Lala, the emotional support. Sheep, yeah, kind of goes back and forth between Twig and Nalvian and Eurydice, kind of each one of the animals kind of making their rounds, one after the other.
Yeah, I mean, after opening that locket and like having like a long moment's pause, like, she would have just been like next to Lala, but she'll just whisper for Lala to just go and stay with Nalfian.
Yeah. So Nalf.
Man, she feels guilty making all these realizations.
Yeah. Nalf not wanting to be alone in this moment. You lay down to sleep in their room, grabbing a pillow and a blanket from your room, kind of throwing it on the ground. And as you go to sit down, sort of looking out the small window on the room, the waves crashing up against the side of it, you can see, different from your echo, a spirit almost. Old man Nalfian smiling at you, tears streaming down his face. And you can hear him say something to you. You did what I never could. You are a great man, Nalfian. Better than I ever could have been. That a wave will crash up against the side of the ship. And with that, Nalfian, you reflect on that, as you lay your head to sleep next to the two people you care most about in this world. And as the camera pans away and fades to black, as all of you head to sleep, that is where we're going to go ahead and end tonight's session. Woo-wee. Oh, indeed.
Well, I'm destroyed.
Oh, God, man. You know, I didn't think that was...
I didn't monologue for so long.
I didn't think Miyazo was going to push you to do that. God damn. I mean,
it was a combination of a few things.
yeah. No, that was
He
awesome.
also said the right things at the right moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Greatly appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed. I hope you cried. I know I did. So that's where we're going to go ahead and call it. Just as a quick update, we won't be here next week and for the Isles of Iverion, since Next weekend, yeah, we got some.
Well, enjoy college life.
Yeah, college life. We got River, our resident Eurydice here, is going to be moving into her dorm at university, so she's got they've got that fun stuff to look forward to. But we will be back the next weekend, as the players will be having a little bit more of a lighthearted session. I can say that, as there is one port town on a very small island that you guys are going to be stopping at, and it's going to be very, very lighthearted. It's a very, yeah. So, no depression next session, hopefully.
Only depression.
And then there's going to be no session. There's going to be no session on October 15th and 16th, or October 16th, because that is when we're doing the. That is when our next charity stream is, which I know seems like not that far from the last one, but quarterly. We got it. We're excited. There's going to be some videos that come out about that soon. So be sure to tune in next Tuesday for the Salamander Coast, or next Friday for the Explorers of Athera. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I hope that you have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, night, whatever it is. All right, see you later.